do some social media.
Let's see.
www.youtube.com/revival
I want the link so people can go and
That's it.
load.
YouTube.
Well, once it goes live.
Once
it goes
the
live.
actual live.
Oh,
Yeah. There we go. I just got a notification.
Yeah, I get the notification. I can.
Are you generating it? You want me to send it to you?
Are you generating?
For it to come up, and then I'm going to click it, and then I'm going to copy paste it.
Who's generating?
I got it
Why?
over here.
Oh, that's what I'm missing. Like, why do I feel like
You're
I'm
missing your
something?
headphones?
Yeah, headphones.
Can't go far without those.
Nope.
Yeah. You getting the hair gel out of there?
Ladies out
Whatever's in there. Cobwebs, hair gel, pomade, snakes,
A lot of brain.
brain matter.
All right, let's see. Let me get the chat. Let's pop that bad Larry out. We got a few guys already in there.
Oh, I'm going to sound real muffed because I got my headphones over my hat. 1, 2. Oh, that sounds good.
I love running the headphones over the hoodie.
Yeah, I like that barrier.
Voila.
Hey! Oh, I don't. Am I here?
Yeah, you're
You're
here.
here.
I can't hear myself.
No?
Uh,
Are you
I can-
sure?
Oh, yeah, turn me up.
And crank you up. 1, 2. That was
Oh,
really
yeah,
low.
father.
Yeah, that was really low.
Yeah.
Good?
A little more.
There?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
wow.
Father?
All right.
Yeah,
that,
father.
was, that was a little awkward. I'm not going to lie. A little odd.
Daddy.
All right, let's see.
Brazacco 3 headphone barrier is wild.
You know
Did you
what?
ever see the ones they put the fucking cotton headphone things on? It's like a mask for your ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like, dude, whatever.
I'm getting a hint of bean today.
Oh, yeah.
Heavy
it's,
bean.
Oh, it's there.
Heavy bean.
It's
The
there.
more-
I never have felt it.
It's the more they're chilled, the less bean.
Yeah.
That's chilly.
The warmer, the more bean.
Yeah,
It's beanie.
If you get a room temp one, light roast.
Like, yeah, that's like
You're asking for the cream.
it's like the Miller Lite of coffee.
Yeah. It's
Are any of those things
Don't
even
you
remotely
dare.
close to 100% over there? What do we got?
what do you
can't-
mean?
Any of those numbers?
Any
on
of
the
those
left.
CPU?
Yeah, CPUs, GPUs, HDDs. What do you got? Anything near 100? Anything even near 50?
No spikes. No spikes.
All right.
Oh, yeah. This thing's cruising. I bet, you know what happened? I bet somebody kicked it. I bet somebody's freaking out. Kicked their fucking foot.
Give
I
it
don't
a
know.
little kicky
I don't know.
poo.
I'm just assuming. Gave a little kicky poo.
Hold on. Who's paying attention in the chat? If you're paying attention in the chat, hit me with an F. F in the chat.
Taylor Chafing Solutions. That's me. TCS out the chat.
Whoa, that's
That is
low
also correct.
latency.
That's pretty good latency.
That's the lowest
yeah.
latency.
Yeah. Well, I think we're back.
We can actually chat with the
All right,
chat.
guys. All
We're
right. You're
back.
pretty quick. But they could have guessed I was going to say F.
Isn't
So-
F like the common
Right.
one?
All those people just decided to write F's because they guessed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, type Purple Monkey dishwasher. There's going to be some latency in typing.
That's a delay.
We're going to see who the fastest typer is. My bet is on Matt Wood. Oh,
Abbreviated.
Matt Rabbit.
That's a guess. That's
Matt
a guess.
Rabbit nailing it.
that's
a
pretty.
guess.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
All right, hit me with a 1, 2, 3.
Oh. I'm about to get in this chat.
We can do this all night.
I'm going to know before all y'all.
That's less than 5
That's-
seconds.
Yeah, that's good.
It's pretty good.
Solid.
Good. I always come in and I'm like cracking jokes to punchlines that ended 5
And it's like,
minutes ago.
30 seconds.
We
later.
literally are on our way home.
I'm like,
I
why
did-
do I fucking try?
Dude, I forgot what it was. I was watching Topics Under the Stairs, and they were talking about, I don't know if everybody remembers China. China from, not China, but China from WWF.
Oh boy, do I ever?
And-
CHYNA?
My first comment was in the chat was just huge clit. but it was like 5 minutes later, so it just said it. It's so random. But that's all I can remember is like, oh yeah, wasn't there like a porno and then like X-Pac and there was like a clitoris that was that? It was a whole lot of
Huge
stuff. Huge
clit.
That's all I could remember.
That's good. That's good.
Damn. 4 up, 5 down. Not bad. 9-second delay.
Wow. There
We
we
can
go.
converse with the chat.
Yeah, that's pretty close. I'm going to hit this button so we don't forget. That button, we're already good. Pull up my notes real quick.
It's all been tweaked.
Oh, you
Nick.
want me to do
It's all
your
been
delay,
tweaked.
Nick? You tell me. You go and I'll go. I can't react to that one now.
Fully tweaked.
A lot of tweaking.
Turning the knobs.
Like
A lot of
fucking Ace
knobs.
Ventura. We do need those
I've never
numbers,
paid
right?
so much attention in my life to Nick in the chat. Go. I'm here.
Timmy said you smell like bees.
Wow. That was fast.
He's not in that chat.
Timmy
He's
who?
in this chat.
Le Q?
Le Q. Le quoi.
Le Quoi.
Le
That's
Quoi.
what I always say. Le Quoi.
Le quoi.
Matt Brown says Le Q. I like Le Quoi.
Lick you.
Lick you is gross.
That's okay.
My son Cameron, every time he takes a sip of seltzer, it's too
It's
good.
really
Does he
good.
make the like he just tasted lightning face?
Yeah.
Kid, honestly,
Why is it so spicy?
kids rock.
Yeah.
Because
they're
it's
the
like,
best.
you would, who does it? Like, as a grown adult, you don't do that. But as a kid, it's like totally kosher.
It's fine. Right. It's perfectly
Right.
fine. Yeah. Just acceptable.
I'm upset if they don't.
Yeah.
I sent them. So I taught both the kids when they're done drinking, go, and it drives everyone nuts. So then they go to
It's
the
like a
daycare.
fucking 80s commercial.
Oh yeah. So they go to daycare and they'll leave like everything's on an app. It's like the ProCare app. So the people will like leave a note like, oh, they're still doing like the drink noise. Can you work with them on the drink noise at home? I'm like, yeah, no problem.
I sure can.
Do it louder.
What part? Like you are where I taught them that.
It's funny because my friends were 21, but they would always eat something. And go.
That's
Have
funny.
you ever heard someone doing the ghost moaning when they're chewing?
I would die.
Dude, so my buddy Evan does that all the time. He's chewing. I'm like, bro,
Cool it.
he doesn't realize it, but he's trying to breathe through his nose while also gorging
Enjoying
on
And
food.
just,
you know?
right, right.
One hole at a time.
I can't say I do that. When I eat, I sound like the Spirit Halloween door decoration. I'm like.
Oh man.
That's how I eat. That's when I really, really like it. You know.
Fucking soak it
How's
up.
that Pennyl vodka?
Corey, that's the monetary one, and I'll pull up the statistics.
All right, everybody, donate a fuck ton of money. Come on.
Oh, we have cases.
We can put up the
to
goal.
Hell
You can put
yeah.
up the goal.
Put up the goal. Let's go $500.
open. I can't. That's a Corey
Let's go
action.
fucking 500
Go back.
Oh,
bucks.
is it Corey action?
That's Corey action.
There we go.
All right. Sorry. I gotta.
If we hit $500, I'll suck down this whole geek bar, guys.
He's gonna be goon.
One fucking
as the
rip.
kids say.
Hold on. I gotta up this. There we go. That's the accurate one.
What do we got?
Interesting.
All right.
Interesting. Look, that's bigger
Yeah.
with
Smaller.
smaller. Yes.
All right. We're good to go. We're ready to rock. You want me to throw up? Let's see. My lunch or what do you want to do? Let's
Is
see.
that was that a Supra?
That was pretty. That was pretty. Yeah.
Let's see. Set a timer. Throw it up.
We'll
for-
do an hour.
Throw it
Right?
up for an hour.
Do an hour. That way we see it.
Sure how you'll celebrate.
We need 10
Kisses.
super chats.
Do you remember HKF Super with my mouth? You remember that
Yeah, oh,
fucking
yeah.
YouTube guy?
Oh yeah, that's back. That's back when the
yeah,
internet
we'll
was
just
still free
a
and
baby.
lovely.
Yeah.
Wild,
The
wild
wise
west.
men visited YouTube to celebrate its birth.
Right. You take whatever silly shit you had on your camcorder and you put that shit on YouTube.
Yep.
You know, you weren't worried about monetization. You're like, yo,
Who's
was
gonna
all for
like
fun.
this?
That's how we got Charlie Bit Me.
Huh?
You know, it's
Right. Look at
Blood.
all them pigeons. All the fucking, or whatever.
so
The
many
chickens.
good ones.
Chicken. Look at all
I
those
mean, the young
chickens.
guns. I feel like guys like in their late 20s don't understand any of that shit.
Yeah.
You know, the internet. So guys, the internet was an amazing place.
was
Right. It really was. Let me introduce you to. Oh fuck. What was it called? Faces of Death or whatever that website was.
Rotten.com.
Rotten.com. Stuff
Steak and cheese.
you never knew existed.
Somebody paid to host that shit forever.
I'm pretty sure the FBI shut that one.
Right, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
well, I got a $200,000 trust from my nana when she died, so I'm going to host this website of disgusting shit for fucking 40 years.
Just because it's funny.
right, it was awesome.
I'll never forget. I was probably 14 and I was on Faces of Death and I clicked a link that just said blonde and it was a decaying hooker.
Wow.
And
The internet.
I ran from my computer.
Yeah.
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 And I was like, I can't go back in there.
And the best part is
Yeah,
back then it
Faces
probably
of
took a
Death.
little bit to load. So
Yeah.
it's kind of
Right, line by line.
But it was
Face.
her. But what killed me was her face. So I was like, huh? So then I had this thing where every night at 12 o'clock and make ramen noodles and drink a Coke and play World of Warcraft, This is life.
You're very much a creature of habit.
I was living.
Yeah.
And I saw that ruin my whole
35
week.
still does the same thing.
For a week, I was like, I'm not going in that room, man.
Right.
I was hearing creaky crackies in the wall. I didn't think I heard anymore.
He was a level 99 mage.
Yeah.
Goddamn better believe.
Talk about your crates.
Your crates? Yeah. Have you opened any crates lately?
No.
You
I
pl-
sold-
You play. I don't even know what the fucking video game is.
It's Counter-Strike. I
Counter-Strike.
sold a majority of my skins, though. Got some
I used to
money for
play
it.
Counter-Strike Source.
Yeah,
So-
that was the
Way
game.
back. Surf maps were my
Surf,
shit. I
yeah,
love
Surf
that.
was the shit.
Yeah, Surf was dope.
2 weeks ago.
Deagle.
Put
You-
on a little
Gun
music, hit
game.
the surf.
Gun game.
Gun game was fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
2 weeks
no,
ago,
we
Shook
got-
was telling us all about how you can like buy these crates and open these crates, and then there's items inside that are somehow valuable, even though they're not real items.
Very valuable.
And so we went on a deep dive. There's like
I got $1,100 US cash for a knife in the game.
How about this? Did you ever play RuneScape?
I didn't. I have friends that did.
RuneScape.
And
I
do.
played when it was 2D. Yeah. Mithril
In a
armor.
web browser.
Had the Addy armor. I have a Santa hat. So they would drop like gifts like around
Yep.
holidays or whatever, and people would pay real money.
Of
And they would
course.
get scammed all the time.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I got a Santa hat. Oh yeah. $200. You know.
okay, yeah, I remember. Okay, RuneScape. The name sounds
CS16, yeah.
familiar. I needed to see what it was.
Funny story. My first computer build I ever built, I built off of selling and stealing WoW accounts back from the Chinese.
Hell yeah.
Sell them an account, money hit the PayPal, PayPal money hit the bank, PayPal disappeared. Money, the account, back in my name. Did it quite a few times.
Yeah. Farming
Is-
accounts, dude.
Is this what started it all? Basically, is that what you're
I've
saying?
been scamming since day
This
one,
is
baby.
this is why they're sending the drones.
China.
Yeah, I know.
China.
You ready to go?
Yeah, I think so. That's recording. That's good.
Actually, I'm not because I can't see because you're fucking me right now.
You got it.
Let me do some wizardry.
What are you doing?
Wizardry because you're fucking me.
There we go. What do you?
Let's get those donations coming in, guys.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah,
Come
yeah.
on. These guys are struggling.
We gotta eat.
ZHP_192. Callback to last episode, shitting on ZHPs. Oh, yeah, turns out it's
Yeah.
and to just buy an M3, Enthusiast Auto Group just posted a 54,000 mile
Yeah,
one
they-
for
they posted it.
$50,000.
No one's going to buy it.
Yeah.
Junk. Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
I remember seeing ZHP throttle bodies going up and people
Yeah.
are like gooning over it.
Yeah.
It's the same throttle body.
Enthusiast Auto Group now. Be careful, guys, because it's owned by YouTubers. So Larry Chen has financial interest in EAG. So
Yeah.
does Adam LZ, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, if they say 350Zs are cool, watch that price hike, baby.
Done.
Right.
Done.
Yeah.
Market ruined.
All right, count it down with Josh.
Market capped. And ready, Shook?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Josh Garcia, and this is the Revival Motoring Podcast. As always, I'm joined by Corey.si.
Hello.
Chuck, who is out there on the slopes. So in his position, we have Mr. Shook TD.
Hello.
And of course, we cannot forget our friend, Mr. Seamus from TCS, also known as Tailored Chassis Solutions. He's here.
China.
we're going to catch up. We're going to try to catch up to him because he's moving at a pace these
So
days.
rapidly.
He's all over the world. He's just pumping out builds. He finished the Lotus recently. I did see that. There's a handful of things going on in his world, and we are going to talk to him about all that good stuff. But before we get rolling, if you are in the chat, we have a goal up there. You can try to hit it and help us out. You know, we got another computer to fix, all that sort of stuff. If you go to our website as well, revivemotor.com, you can sign up for the B4B. What is B4B? That is Bucks for the Boys, and that is how we support this show and the other shows on Revival Motoring. So,
Mostly
with
us,
that
though.
said, we do appreciate you. And it genuinely helps week to week. If you notice, I've gotten a lot grayer since I've started this whole thing, and I think I'm just going to continue on the backside of life. So we're going to get right into it and talk, not callbacks, we're going to talk to our friend Seamus about what he's got going on in his world. But first, actually, I did want to mention, it's funny because when we first started, the E46 M3 was like goal car, and now that is basically reached unattainable, just not even a possibility.
Oh, come on. There's you can find it for 12 to 15 grand.
Which would be, it's going to be clapped, and it's going to have a SMG, what do you call it? SMG, and might be a fucking
Little conversion work. What's the big
the
deal?
rear subframe will be falling out, and the rear floor will be falling out. But hey, they make fixes for
and
it.
it's going to be in that horrific, whatever it's called, Phoenix yellow.
Oh, come on.
the
I
piss
love
yellow.
that.
I don't
love
like that color.
I
I will
love
do to
that
take a
color.
blue. I need a blue one. I need
How
a green
dare
one. I
you.
need a red one.
In
We're
the
talking
grand
about
scheme
M3?
of yellow cars,
Yeah.
that is like in the holy trinity.
It's great.
Dude's got-
Everybody loves spicy mustard.
Dude, it's so.
He doesn't want to be a piss baby.
It reminds me.
Calibre.
It's like bullion cube. It's like a bullion cube.
Yeah, it's like ramen noodle seasoning.
That's it.
Shouts to Calibre, $2.
Puppy
Thank
monkey
you so much.
baby.
Yeah.
Thank
Here we
you.
go.
Big
Here we go.
shouts.
Starting it off big.
For me, yellow car, Seamus. What's top yellow car?
Top yellow.
Yeah.
CYM on the FDRX7, very good. Competition yellow
That's-
mica.
That's number
it.
2 for me.
Fantastic. Silver pearl over a really nice yellow, deep yellow. I really like the C5Z06 Millennium yellow. I think that's a really, really good mac and cheese yellow.
Yep.
That's actually what I'm painting the IS300 wagon.
Love that.
Mac and cheese yellow?
Yeah, it's fantastic. So Millennium yellow, C5Z06. Phoenix yellow on the Integra Type R. I mean, come on.
That's
I'm a
number
Honda
1 for me.
Boy.
You know it's not good on? The FK8.
Yeah,
I hate it.
agreed. Yeah.
I hate it.
What's up, gang? I'm
Yeah.
Honda Pro Jason.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy,
What a
dude.
dork.
All right, yeah, that's a fucking really good
yeah.
yellow.
That thing right there.
So what's really interesting to me about this color is you can't find. I mean, you got to be really particular about how you set your camera up to photograph this color.
Yeah.
There are so
50
many
different
different.
yellows right now.
Exactly.
Right there, it looks way paler
That's-
than the other previous photo.
You've never seen one in the real world that looks like that. Your eye will never pick it up that way. I would say closer to that one there is probably more similar to it, but it's even more orange than that.
Yeah.
I really, really
Look at this one, like in the shade in the garage.
I would say the nose
That's
of
a
that
really
is
shitty
probably
photo,
the
but yeah.
closest to reality. But
I'm
or even there in the Corvette warehouse.
That one right there. That's pretty cool. No, next
the
one
left
over.
of it,
There you
yeah.
go. That's pretty close.
Now, it really depends on okay, what's the white balance of this TV? What's the white balance of what you guys are seeing on the camera, whatever. But it's a very interesting, I would say, understated yellow.
Because it
Goddamn,
does
that's a
have some
good-looking
It
car.
does have some depth to it. Oh, dude, I was thinking the other
And-
day, man, I want a fucking C5.
So Chevy put it was a tri-stage pearl. The third coat was a pearl. I actually prefer, without the pearl, just because you get a little bit more depth. It's fantastic. The pearl is like a soft white pearl. It almost like blows the yellow out a little bit.
And it reflects it, I'd imagine, a bit more too.
Yeah. I like the solid color. Really, that Rogers Corvette Center picture in the bottom left there, that's a really good representation of that color.
Yeah.
Old Raji.
But yeah, yellow cars. And then NSX Spa yellow, fantastic color. Gosh, I don't know. There's a lot of good yellows.
I personally, Phoenix yellow, I said top 3. It's definitely not top 3, but like top 5. Like I just enjoy that color. I see it, and I'm like,
Can you see it?
I see what I see.
Okay.
So,
How dare
hey,
you?
Whatever he sees, he
I'm
enjoys.
vibing.
Yeah,
I'm
you know
vibing.
what's crazy though? We don't even know what he's seeing.
He could be seeing the most miraculous color.
Something
Hey,
that we've never seen.
You all
It's
could be
blue.
colorblind.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Maybe colorblind people see the true color,
Yeah.
and we are blinded by what
The light.
science.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what I see.
Lit up like a douche. Yeah.
What I see is the Phoenix yellow. I fucked with it.
Now the Phoenix yellow is good, but BMW even said we got to tweak this. We need an homage, and they came out with the Austin yellow on the
Yep.
F82.
Yeah.
And that's a fantastic color as well. I would call it a reboot.
I will tell you, couldn't tell you the difference.
Yeah, I don't, you got to park them next to each other.
Yeah.
I think that the E46 version is a bit duller, a bit more olive.
I'll leave.
Yeah.
When that thing, I will say, when that E46 M3 came out in that color,
Piss.
it was just like
Oh,
you were the hotness.
I have
Oh,
a friends with an E46 M3.
Every guy wanted to fuck you. when
You don't
had
fuck
that.
with that? Look at that.
Oh no,
it's
I'm not saying I don't
It's
dislike
fantastic.
it, but E46 M3, I'd prefer an Oxford green, a purple, or if had to go with like release colors,
Dusk?
Laguna Seca blue.
Dusk?
Laguna Seca Blau.
Oh, yeah.
This is baby shit green.
Oh, what are you talking about? I mean, that's a good looking baby
it's
shit.
chicken bouillon cube. I'm making my soup.
It is.
Wow. Well, anyway.
It's curry green. Curry.
What was I going to say? What is the B5 S4? Is that Amola?
Amola.
Okay,
Yeah.
Amola. So I like
color.
Amola on B5 S4s, wagons and sedans. Don't like Amola on the Mark IV.
Nice
Really?
to know you.
Yeah, yeah,
Meet you.
Mark IV meeting the 20th Ann.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very specific to like specific colors need to work on the platform.
Sure. Yeah.
Like you said the
body lines.
the whatever CMY or whatever the hell it was
CYM. Computational
on NFT.
How dare
Like
you.
that is
Yeah.
it just makes sense.
They're
it just
fantastic.
works.
And
It's a
it's-
symphony of
Is it
love.
tornado yellow?
It's one of those deals where you have to see it in person to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because you don't get the pearl. Like it almost is odd to be right up on a CYM car, and only when you're 2 feet away from it do you notice the pearl, and you're like, holy shit,
Yep.
this is really
It's
good.
there. Yeah.
Where like photos you can't unless you're like looking at a paint sample or something.
Yeah.
Did they pearl any other colors from Mazda? And is there a silver one?
On the
FD in particular?
so later on there was, I believe there was a color called titanium gray that was like on
Which
the
is like the
01
Spirit or-
art,
yeah.
which was the same as the Mazda Speed Miata gray. But yeah,
It sounds as if there's some
Yeah.
disdain towards
no, no,
that seat. Like that color just works on that car.
Yeah.
yeah, it's really good.
Big Jim. Big Jim's got one, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Big Jim's car, I believe, was repainted, so it does not have the pearl in it.
Okay.
So it had the port spray bomb. Basically, they say, "Oh, it's going to America. We got to
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
you
We
know,
could
they
make
spray
this
it up
thing.
right before as it's going on the boat." But yeah. Originally, that would have been a CYM car. Mm-hmm.
It's a big L. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Well, hey.
And that's our coverage of
What-
yellow cars.
Hey,
Yeah.
yellow. I'll end it with this. What's your favorite color on a car? Just
Period.
generally speaking, like green, blue, gray, whatever. Like, what's your favorite?
Me, I mean, I really like white cars.
Yeah.
I really like white cars. But if I had, but I think that white is, to a certain degree, if you're asking me about color, that's a cop out. I mean, yellows are up there. I mean, there's a lot of different. I really like a Mola orange from the NSX. I think that when they spray it, so the S2000 Type V came as the same color available in Japan. I always think back to the Amuse R1 from Best Motoring, and that car was a Mola orange, and I just thought it was fucking awesome. I don't know. There's a lot of really good colors. I really can't pick.
My blanket's green.
Yeah,
I
like
love green cars.
Yeah.
Love green cars. Yeah.
Is this close to the SI orange?
No.
Something
so
pearl?
there were two different. So there was
That's a good color.
there were two different sort of colors for the. There was habanero red.
Not that one. Not habanero red. I don't like that one.
Look it up.
That one's
Look
like
it up.
that one's like a penny.
It depends.
Oh, so it's got a lot of orange in it?
It's tangerine. Well, no, it's like a spicy sort of a duller red.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's got a bit of that burst.
It's blood
That
clot.
burn.
Yeah,
When they like,
habanero.
I don't know, the 8th gens, they painted them with like the worst paint known to man. So
There-
they turn like penny color.
There was a recall. Yeah. So the hard part is like you'll never see one of these cars out in the world unless it was garage kept forever. Like even Brittany's car. So she has a 2011, my wife, and when we repainted that champ white, but that car was originally taffeta white, and it only had like 80,000 miles on it, and we had garaged it for like 10 years, and the roof clear coat failed.
All of them.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
And
Yeah.
Nighthawk Black Pearl is like
It was the worst. I mean, you drive off the lot, it would
psoriasis. Psoriasis.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because
That's a
now I see them all the time, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I often ask, like, what happened to that car?
Power wash them, and the clear coat's like yippee.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally baked out.
No, there's an orange one though. It's something pearl.
It was only on the coupes.
Was it only coupes? Can you look it up?
Orange FG2 Civic.
Color. You have the keys over there.
Yeah, I'm just what should
Honda SI.
FG2.
Yeah, FG2 orange. Color.
Orange.
Name.
Well, are you thinking of the...
Yeah, this.
red line orange?
Nah. I can't
No,
do the name.
so there was Redline Orange in the FG2, but then in the later model coupes, there was a different
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, dude. I got a phone. I can find it.
Orange Fire Pearl. No, that was late. That's a 14-15 car.
Orange is a hell of a color though. It's a tough one to pull off on a car.
Right, because
It
it's
is.
either going to be the burnt style, like 350Zs, and have that,
Right.
look to it. Because if you go straight, like orange, that's a look.
Right. Yeah, orange is pretty
That-
polarizing.
You're
I have
you're the
a...
General Lee.
Right, yeah. Oh, brother. Yeah, no, my drift car is orange, and it's that burnt orange, and I'm not a huge fan of it. But,
Right.
apparently, it's rare or whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't 350Zs come in that like weird orange?
That was, I
Yeah.
just remember that. Like, that was the, again,
Copper.
kind of hero color when those things came out.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was interesting because not knowing the history of everything as much, was like, whoa, that's one of the first burnt oranges I've ever seen, not knowing there was, multiple iterations of it
Yeah.
way before.
I mean, they had that color on the Maxima, I think.
Yeah, Maxima. Then
Something
they
similar.
ended up putting it on the fucking Murano and,
Mhm.
the drop top Murano.
That's why I love the drop top Murano, guys.
Really put,
I
me
love
over,
it.
really put me over the top.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's
that's our
chat
deep
saying.
dive into color discussion.
That's a great orange name, Papaya Orange. I like
papaya.
that.
Scroll
Carman
up-
Cam, he gets
Scroll up
it,
in the
yeah.
chat.
Oh, do we have
There's definitely a T, Tism, and yes, yeah.
Up.
Damn.
Whoa, 999 sticky.
Hell
Sorry,
yeah.
I haven't been here
10
much, gentlemen.
Buckers.
Z has taken much of my funds, and work has taken most of my time. Anyways, thanks for making long nights to the airport ramp. Let's all the
Oh
airport, dude.
yeah. Thanks
Cheers,
for keeping
buddy.
us safe
Thank
on
you.
the
Yeah.
runway, buddy.
He like
Yes,
builds
cheers.
planes or repairs planes.
crazy.
Yeah, in
crazy
Vegas.
stuff.
Appreciate you.
So,
I assume every time I leave the ground that I'm gonna die. I just like
Me
cope with
too.
it.
I'm
like,
gonna be
I'm
honest,
gonna fucking die.
I don't like it at all.
But
don't like
then
to
I
think
land-
about it.
We're okay.
then
Usually-
you're
You
like,
just get down, kiss the ground.
Right.
Usually halfway through my flight, I have a panic attack. I'm like, we could just fall out of the fucking sky right now,
Yeah.
hit a mountain,
Or
and I'll have to eat someone.
you know what
Then
I've been
you'll be
doing?
super dead. My concern is you're taking off and then something happens and you fall down and you burn to death instead
Right.
of smushing to
yeah,
death.
true.
That's a big suck.
My go-to recently is, well, we could just drive there.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
what I've been
oh,
thinking. I'm
well.
just like, well, we could just drive. It's not that far.
Yeah.
Megadeth is definitely preferred versus burning to death.
Yeah. Yeah, after the current information that's come out, I don't know. I'm gonna fly this year. I'm gonna do support for Adam in Formula Drift again this year, and I'm like, man, I'm thinking of every flight, and I'm like, which one's can I drive to?
What's the one that's gonna get me?
I mean,
Uh,
there's got to be a trailer bringing everything out there. Just hop in there.
There is, but it's going from Florida, so it's
Take a
like.
train to Florida.
Yeah, right. I started my journey 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Where's the first event?
It's gonna be Long Beach.
Okay.
right?
Of course.
Which is the
So the-
farthest. A lot of fuel in those wings. I'm thinking a lot of fuel in those wings, but okay.
I knew Long Beach was the first. Don't know why I asked. Also, so far away.
There is
Yeah.
a positive.
The most
There's a
Arguably
positive.
the furthest.
Alaska.
No oceans to go over.
That's true. And
So
there's,
I'll be super dead, no drowning. Perfect.
there's definitely
Mountains.
Yeah.
there's no mirrored towers on the way there either.
Yeah. I mean,
Jesus,
that's part of it, but I'm less concerned about that. Well, I'm not even gonna get into it.
Yeah, that's a whole.
Yeah.
There's this.
Watch the
we'd be
Sean
here
Ryan
for days.
podcast, guys. Watch the Sean Ryan podcast. Sarah Adams' most recent one. If you want to shit a brick and then go out and buy 100 pounds of dried food and 2,000 rounds of ammunition, like I just did last week,
Bug out
go
bags.
ahead and do it.
So actually, that's a great place to start. Is besides the terrorism. taking a backtrack and going, oh wow, yeah, you were like helping Adam LZ last year.
That's right.
How did that develop?
So if we go back super far, me and Adam's relationship started where I would send him messages on Instagram and tell him you're fucking up. You know, I'd basically like something that he was doing that was silly or stupid.
That you'd notice unsolicited, just
absolutely
hit him with the
basically the dad going, fucking come on.
Yeah.
So he didn't really like me very much. So then I became friends with James, and
Did he respond to any of those messages?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, pretty hostile.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what I was going to ask.
Well, I called, the president of coilovers or whatever. And I'd be like, oh, you mean Garrett in engineering? Yeah, I already told him to tell you that you're a poo-poo head.
So Slender James.
Yeah. So then Jim and I became friends, and he invited me down when we were doing, or when they were doing the stuff for, the hell was that drink?
Oh,
Drink?
Jesus, I can
Everybody
see it. I
was
can
Breezy?
picture it.
down.
Breezy.
Breezy. Right. So he's like, hey, I'm going down to Florida. I want you to come with me. I like traveling with Jim.
Mm-hmm.
So we had gone to PRI before that, and we had a good time. We got real lit. And
Love
I
We got
think Jimmy
real
likes to get a little bit loose.
Yeah.
I can picture.
Jimmy
yeah.
gets loose, and
Yeah.
it's funny because like when we're rolling around, it's like literally the Twin Towers rolling around.
Right. It's true. It's true.
Look out for the planes.
It's true. It's
Last time
So-
I ran into James while he was a little loose, he kissed me on my face. So
That's a Jim move.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Jim move.
whole
Sober.
body in my car.
Sober too.
Real
Strong
tall
move.
guy.
Yeah. His knees are in the window.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Prickly beard, dude.
Yeah.
What was the
Good
the guy-
hugger.
a Slender Man?
It's a good hug.
I call him Slender James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so PRI.
So
That's
we
it
did
looks like a
P-
killer time.
It was fantastic. We did PRI and we were vibing and it was a good time. And so he's like, hey, I want you to come down with me to Florida. So I said, okay. So we go down and it was, go to the compound. We're doing a bunch of filming. All the other normal characters are there doing their thing. And so he had started to warm up to me. It was funny because I always thought that he didn't remember like that. Like,
Oh, he knew.
oh man. So it was like a day or two into the trip, and everybody's in like the main garage area or something. I can't remember exactly how it came up, and we were joking around, getting along or whatever. And he's like, yeah, it's crazy to think like this guy used to fucking give me a hard time on Instagram, and now look at us, It was kind of good. So
He just hit that awkward bridge and just got it over with.
yeah. And then the backtrack, I forgot. We built that rally car.
Yes.
And then he was looking for a rally car, and I'm like, dude, you gotta buy this car.
Yep.
It's fucking sick. It was $150,000 to build. Like, he's selling it for $30,000. It's getting out of the game sale. Just go and buy the fucking thing.
Yeah.
So he ended up buying that car. So then, we're talking about stuff. We had dialogue or whatever. And, he knew that I was the guy that can just do whatever needs to be done. Doesn't matter. So he was in a pinch. He wasn't thinking about running a whole season. He's like, hey, I'm doing like a onesie twosie. I'm going to be in New Jersey, which is close to you. Would you crew for me? I'm like, yeah, sure. So it was funny. I'm on the dyno. He calls. He's like, I have a couple of questions. I'm like, okay. How much do you know about E36s? I'm like, a medium amount, which is being humble. I mean, they're E36s. Everything.
Yeah.
And your medium amount is probably a fucking
Quite thick,
encyclopedia, right?
Like, I'm
compared
not
to most.
full dork. Like, oh well, in '94 they have, like I'm not.
yeah.
Like, it's not like that. But like, yeah, I know every bolt and every whatever.
That guy sucks, by the way.
Who's that?
The guy who says all that.
Yeah. Technically,
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, they study that, but right.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the wrong Flugel module. But
Are you using the blue coolant? The blue
right.
one? The blue.
yeah. It's concentrate. You have to cut that with distilled water. And then he goes, well, how much do you know about 2Js? And I said, more than E36s. And he's like, okay. So he's like, hey, would you crew? And I said, yeah. And we went down, and, my job is to put people on the podium. And we put them on the podium. And then he's like, well, fuck, maybe maybe do it again. I don't know. And really, the plan was never to do the full season.
Yep.
He was doing Drift Masters. He's over in Europe. He's got a million fucking things going on.
Yeah.
I mean, his kid's got like 35 employees, blah, blah, blah. So,
Hey, you are?
hey.
I don't know when that was,
Might
but
have had
it's a
buzz.
podium.
That was
it's Adam.
Jersey, I think. That was Jersey. Might have had a buzz. Speaking of buzz, that guy right there, that's the GSR Transmissions guy. I've seen that guy so fucking hammered. So he was hammered at PRI. Anyway, so
Everybody likes to get loose.
yeah. Oh, dude, it's a fucking good time. So he's like, hey, how about the next one? And it was basically touch and go. He didn't know what he was going to do. He didn't know that he was going to do the whole season. That was never the plan. And then he starts getting up high and accumulating points, and he keeps calling. He's like, hey, let's, what do you think? You want to do this? You want to do that? What about the rest of the season? He's like, I'm thinking about doing it. So I'm like, yeah. So I built a relationship with those guys. They're fucking awesome guys.
Yeah.
It's not exactly what you see on the video. Obviously, you're crafting your own reality in order to make it entertaining. But
Yeah.
boy, oh boy, you want to talk about some characters.
Yeah.
That whole group has some fucking characters. Booth, hilarious. Love that kid. I wasn't sure how to take him at first, but he just nonstop is just badgering people all the time. You don't know what's real. You don't.
Yeah.
But now I think of him as like a little brother, You
Yeah.
see him just out of nowhere, just for no reason, just push him into the wall, just to let him know, like, I could fuck you up.
There's a hierarchy.
But yeah, so that was good. And now we're doing a full season. He's not doing Drift Masters this year, and we're gonna focus on FD in the U.S. and just put him up front. I don't know what he's driving.
Even right now, you
Don't know what he's driving yet.
Okay.
It'll be one of those things where it doesn't really matter.
I was going to say, for you,
I don't care.
right, it's just
I don't care.
they're focused on getting it built, whatever, right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Aside from like a fucking NASA shuttle, like I can pretty much, I don't care what shows up. I know how to turn the bolts and do whatever. So we'll put him on the podium. I mean, we finished fifth in the points.
I was going to say, he
last
ended
year.
up fifth, I believe, right?
Fifth in the points, with a disgustingly under-prepped car. I mean, to the point where maybe I was like giving him a hard time, like, bro, we need some fucking spares, dude. But yeah, like, incredible. He did incredible. The kid can fucking drive.
Yeah.
He can drive. I busted his chops for a long time. That kid can wheel, like, legit.
I remember he drove at one time. I was at Lock City, and I was watching. I was like, "Holy shit!"
I haven't seen him drive since like 2017 at Lock City. Long time ago.
Bro,
Yeah, this was a few years ago. Yeah,
it's next level.
It was like reverse entry for fun. And I was like, this is wild to see. It was the same thing when I saw Ryan drive it the first time. I was like, oh, it's like a different. It's like watching like
It's different
NBA
games,
and
yeah.
like
right.
it's crazy.
Ryan's outrageous.
It's such
Yeah,
a different
it's
level.
outrageous.
Yeah.
It's we say this, all the time, and it's no shot towards anybody else drifting in general, but you just know it's like, oh, cool, that dude plays pickup basketball. Oh, there's an NBA player. It's just like there's a difference. It's noticeable.
He was behind me on grid, and I deposited a brick into my pants.
Yeah. Oh,
I heard his transmission like gadunk. I'm like, oh fuck. And then he broke an axe. I was like, oh, thank God, dude.
He has the most maniacal rev limiter too.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's just it just fucking hangs.
Right, it
at
gets
like
there and
8,000.
sticks. Yeah, it's what do you call it? Like cruising altitude? It reaches it, and that's it.
He's nuts. And the way he drives, I mean, I've ridden with him in the East Coast car a bunch of times. I've never ridden in the pro car with him, but I've seen him. I've been right there. I've witnessed it live, what he's like in the pro car. And he's more, I think everybody to a certain degree, well, not everybody, but most people drive in a calculated manner when you're at an FD event because you got to go rounds.
Right.
You can't just throw, everything to the boards and just say, I'm going to use every last drop of this car. It's got to go rounds. So what he's willing to do in his East Coast car that he owns
It's just
it's
Jesus take the wheels.
he just bends the car around him.
Yeah.
And he's really, really good. I think that he's probably undervalued, underappreciated. I mean, everybody knows Ryan Turk, but I feel like in terms of being one of the guys who's in the spotlight who really kills it.
Yeah.
I mean, he just is
With-
a fucking operator.
With a bunch of stuff, like not obvi- the driving. It's just in cars and the ideas and everything. It's like,
it's way more complex.
Everything is, there's
yeah.
so much to it.
Yeah, the drive is only a portion of it. I mean, his
Right.
interest in the next level motorsport stuff. And that's why Ryan and I get along very well. I mean, he's one of my very close friends, and we become close friends because we're both nerds.
Yep.
And
Really dive into that.
yeah, I appreciate his knack for quality, his eye for quality, his, he demands it of his cars, and he always tries to outdo the next thing. And, he's always asking and looking and researching and trying to be like, oh, like what's cool. And we share a lot of stuff back and forth and things that we'll see. We dissect, GTD cars and hypercars and things like that, like in the racing space, hypercars.
Yeah.
And we say like, ooh, what kind of like little fixins can we put into
Trickle down
our
economics.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So yeah, Ryan is next level.
We'll cover some more stuff about Ryan and stuff that he's got going on in a little bit. I want to take a step back to the LZ stuff and an FD season. So, what are you thinking when you go? Like you're gonna crew for him. Are you playing a factor in his mentality as well as prepping the car and making sure the car is up to where it needs to be? Are you just are you helping overall with that sort of stuff, the whole thing? You know what I mean? It's just where do you kind of fall?
Well, Adam has a lot of people coming at him all the time.
Yep.
And I'm a person who likes to observe and absorb and see the reality around me for what it is. And he's very guarded because of that. Maybe with me because I'm new, relatively to people that have been around him for years and stuff like that. But he very light switchy because he's got to play a lot of roles. He's got to be the boss, but he's also got to be
the driver,
entertainer. He's got to be a driver. He's also heavily involved in setup. He's heavily involved in car dynamics, and he's very particular and neurotic and wants things a certain way. And I really like that about him because he is way more detail oriented, I would say, than he even lets on, because a lot of that stuff's not entertaining.
I was just going to say, at some point you draw the line of, well, this is going to be boring
Right.
for the viewer.
Right.
Again, we do this here. At times we teeter on it when we go for a fucking half hour talking about the best yellow. Like, we could probably lose some people there, but it's us, whatever.
Yeah.
That it is what it is. Side note.
Right.
But yes, I completely, understand that for sure, because you want to entertain them and keep them watching.
I certainly try, if he needs it, if he wants it, whatever, as far as moral and mental support. But it's less of like, you can do it, buddy. You can, it's not really in that capacity. It's sort of like, and I do this kind of with everybody. When you're under my purview, when you're under my umbrella of protection, I'm going to be the dad.
Yep.
That's why everyone calls me dad. Because if you're in my group, you're under my protection. So, yeah, I mean, things will come at him, things that he can control, things he can't control, fans, bullshit, rules, the series, whatever.
Yep.
And everything is a test. Everything is, trying to shake you. So my goal is the same as I always am, is just keep it light, joke around, that sort of thing. If he needs or wants, or I feel like maybe he needs something, I'll give it to him in terms of support. While also not trying to coddle or anything like that.
Right.
But he's a really fucking smart kid, and I pulled him aside, or maybe I sent him a text message or whatever it was, but I'm like, dude, I'm really fucking proud of you, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're not even 30 years old. You've got all these people whose lives depend on you financially. That's a lot of stress, and he kicks ass, dude.
It's always such a reality check when you realize how young he is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and he's been doing it for so long, and it's just been like a shotgun existence. You know what I mean? Like everything grew so fast and exponentially that the complexity of his life is ridiculous. And for him to perform at the level that he does, and still have so many fires burning.
Yep.
I mean, big respect.
Right, because there's
Big
just any given weekend. There's so many things, especially when, if he was driving for RTR, right? There's obligations for that team. and there's obligations to keep your channel going. Then there's yourself and, just anybody around you that you want to take time for. A million different things.
Like RTR was a godsend to him because it freed him up in a lot of ways. He doesn't have to worry about delegating. He doesn't have to worry about a lot of things. I think it's in his nature to get overly involved in certain stuff because he takes a vested interest in his performance, so he's like maybe putting in more effort than even was needed. The cars are going to get prepped. The setup's going to be pretty good, whatever. They were a challenging car to drive, and they still are a challenging car to drive. And although that team has mass and budget and it looks like a huge operation, there's still a lot of shit going on behind the curtain. There's still a lot of dirt being swept under the carpet. There's still a lot of things going on that are obfuscated by scale. So nobody's really perfect in that way. But yeah, I think he prefers a little bit more control. And I think that although in a lot of ways RTR was good for him, I think that running his own thing is really what he wants to do. And
sense.
It's also the underdog thing too. I mean, we had a front radiator car.
Right.
The only one.
I was going to say the only one in the
the
field,
only
right?
one in the paddock with stock trailing arms. Like the rear suspension is like, it's like an upper and lower control. No, it's just a lower control arm.
Yep.
That's it. And like adjustable toe bushings on the trailing arms, stock trailing arms.
Yep.
Winters, quick change, bulldog, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. Does that like help for simplicity though? It's like a catch-22, right?
Well, certainly. It could be that if we had spares. Like that could be an argument that you could use if it was like, oh, it's so simple, it's all stock. We just load up the trailer with spares. There's no spares.
Right. Measure everything, pop
spares.
the new one in. Yeah.
It's not like that. And then we've got SLR angle kit up front.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. He's just running stock M3 axles.
No. He's on
Okay.
WiseFab axles.
All right.
But we broke 3 sets of those at Jersey.
What does that thing make?
I think it's like 1,100 on the bottle.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 1,100, 1,200 on the bottle. Yeah. Chump change.
That's just breaking it in.
But-
baby.
Yeah. Just waking her up.
Oh, you got the little motor in this one. Yeah, 3.4 stroker BC. I believe that's a heavy crank. I don't think it's a lightweight crank.
Mm-hmm.
But
Nothing
yeah,
like a heavy crank.
3/4 friggin' crank.
Oh man.
But
If only we knew.
yeah, 3.4, pretty simple head package.
Yeah.
And
This car here?
yeah,
Good looking car.
yeah, that's in those pictures. Yeah,
What?
in those pictures.
That's why pictures are the best.
Boy, there's. I just
Is there a
looking
lot of blue gaff tape on here?
look at man, there's a lot of rivets. So just looking like, okay, how many times the side skirts get ripped off and like what's going on under the things that you see behind closed doors, boy,
How many self tappers?
just all of them,
Every single one.
Get it up there.
gooey.
Just get
Actually,
it up there.
you know what?
yeah.
Not a lot of self tappers, just rivets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something falls off, whoop, new holes, rivet, wow, send them out.
Wait, there's,
know?
I don't know where to put the. There's plenty of room. It's fucking 36 inches long.
Right. Yeah.
There you go.
Look at the number of holes. Bing, bang, boom, bang, bing, bang.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6.
And then like a lot of times it'll break at the rear like pin jack hole. So like there's tons of times where I don't know who makes those carbon things on the bottom. Keep making them, buddy. We have never broken one of those. we they come flying off and they're not even scratched.
Wow.
I don't
like
understand.
these things.
But
I think
they're great. I don't know. He buys them like a dozen at a time. We don't even need them.
K2 Industries, I think, has them,
Yeah,
but they
probably.
resell other people's shit too.
Probably. But we've broken the OEM side skirts right in half at that hole.
Yep.
And I've used, like, there's no metal behind that. And I used the side skirt to, like, hold the side skirt up to make it look like it photographs well. But, yeah. Yeah, this was the last race of the year. That was, what was that? The hell do they call that?
The last race?
Fucking
Irwindale?
I see palm
Irwindale,
trees.
California, yeah.
Racehorse.
Yeah, and that was actually the last Irwindale. 'cause
Last
they
one, yeah.
They knocked, they started bulldozing stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of the stark
Yeah.
difference between that photo
Mm-hmm.
and that photo. Obviously, this is a podcast where you're talking about photos, but like one is like a beauty shot of just smoke, drifting, everything that drifting is.
And then one's closer to reality.
And then one is
Right.
the car with the crew and all of its battle wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And I
should
think it's
see-
important to see it like that.
Yeah,
Because
for
like,
sure.
they had to get there like that.
You should find the picture of it balled up.
Oh, St. Louis. Yeah. Boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, that's he did the board slide, right?
Yeah.
Or 50-50?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a more realistic view of fuck. And then
Dude.
is that new car done?
Yeah. It was done in 2 weeks.
Like a couple weeks, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I'm winking.
magic.
Yeah, I mean it turned wheels. It burned down, so It was so funny. There was no time to rework anything. And I'm like, guy, I'll fly down. We'll do a 48-hour freaking Thunder run. I won't even sleep, and then I'll just drive home, fly home. But the boys got it. They put it together.
Look at the retrailer.
Oh, it was, dude.
But Jesus.
Yeah. So that was when it first came back. And then actually somebody's got a video of who the hell took that video? We were towing it back. I put the suspension back together with some random washers. And it was like grinding on the wheel. We pulled it all the way back to the paddock and we just shoved it in the trailer as fast as possible because there was 9 billion people waiting around the
Trying
trailer.
All trying to take a video.
To be that guy. Yeah.
Let me smell your balls. It was
The same
ridiculous.
fucking video that everyone
Yeah.
else is going to post online.
Right.
Yeah. Sort of.
It's like all the people that take videos at a concert.
Yeah.
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 Or sort of, sort of like all the people around Chelsea Denofa when you guys fucking suck. I want to fight you. All that shit.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah,
the
yeah.
best.
Oh my
The
God.
best. The best.
Put your shit in the fucking trailer. I wish I was there for that.
Super intimidating,
So good.
Chelsea.
Was he on like a mini
You
bike
can tell him I
too?
said that. I don't care. He's
I,
like a-
I
like a
think he
good
was
boy.
on a bike.
He's
yeah.
a good boy. I mean, I'm sure that he's like, fuck, that wasn't the best look.
Oh, but it was,
In
Oh, it
that
was
video,
great.
he's like an angry Muppet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like Chelsea.
I'm on the
Denova.
felt. I like Chelsea.
It goes to show
like
the.
It was cool to see the passion.
I was just going to
He's
say,
a
it goes to
passionate
show the
guy.
Passion of the Christ?
Yeah.
The passion
Of like being that
Oh yeah,
committed.
no,
caring.
It's just, he's,
Yeah.
he's fucking invested,
Yeah.
bro. I
Yeah.
mean, he spends so much time advocating for lower costs and get more people involved. And
Tire
and for
stuff,
that,
right?
Tire stuff. For
Yeah.
that, I love him.
Yeah.
I love him for that. Something, it's just, he's a Philly guy, It's,
yeah,
he's a
yeah.
cheesesteak guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Fucking Geno's.
he's a
Might
fucking
be some-
cheesesteak guy. We're pizza guys over here.
Fuck Geno's.
But yeah, Chelsea, good boy.
So you're excited for this year coming up. I mean, there's many other things we're going to talk about, but for the FD season, you're locked in. You have your schedule. You know when you're leaving. How's that affecting home life, all that good stuff?
I mean, luckily, Brittany, my wife, you've met her.
Yeah, she understands.
Friggin'
And
superstar.
I was going to
Yeah,
say,
she's cool.
yeah,
Superstar.
understand. She drifts.
Yep.
She knows motorsport, how
Yep.
things work. So
Yeah. She traveled with me on the road for Pirelli World Challenge for years. I mean, she ran, or assisted in hospitality. She understands how the paddock works. She understands all that stuff. She understands when you go when the money is there, and you just do what you got to do.
Yep.
I am stoked. I'm also potentially trying to figure out schedule for Grid Life and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to Midwest Fest out in Michigan. But yeah, as far as schedule for the FD stuff, yeah, it's I'm stoked on it.
Yeah.
I'm a little, the FD stuff. I'm stoked. The travel on an airplane,
Back to the
on a
fucking
bomb
airplanes,
tube.
dude.
I'm not necessarily stoked on that. But
You think everything's fine? You wake up, you're just cannon fodder.
who's
We
gonna
got-
get me? No one's gonna get me.
We got Long
I'm
Beach,
too good. Too good.
April, May,
Yep.
2 in May. That's a lot. Oh,
Yeah.
Georgia, Florida, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not too bad.
I keep saying I want to go to Englishtown. I got to actually make it happen.
E-Town's dope.
It's
E-Town's dope.
one of the
Party.
coolest venues for drifting for sure.
Yeah, it's a party.
Minus that.
It's not that we could. This is very achievable.
I know.
It's a few dollars
it's
in gas.
Like 4 hours away. Minus the when that
Make it sound like the Oregon Trail.
right.
Yeah,
Right, yeah, I'm gonna get
Died of
fucking
dysentery.
on the way.
95.
Had to cock the wagon and float it to get under the George Washington.
Option
Lost
A,
2 ox
ford
and
the
a
river.
tongue.
The biggest deal would be crossing the Tappan Zee.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it's
right.
like $400, but
Yeah.
it's not too bad.
Yeah.
The Tappan Zee oil pan.
I'm still getting fucking
Take
toll.
the ferry over to Long Island.
I'm still getting toll receipts from the Texas trip.
Are you really?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I'd rather
Yeah.
be a
It's
part
just-
of
they
a
just
plane
keep
that
coming.
crashed than take the ferry to Long Island.
It's not too bad.
No, the
It's not
ferry
too
over there
bad.
is great. It's
Out
great.
to Montauk.
Really?
Yeah.
Take it out to Montauk.
Yeah. Go to Bayside.
Is that
You
it's
can
a
sing with the
Bayside
boys.
song?
Yeah, yeah.
Montauk.
I'm not a big fan of boats, so like I'm not
The
getting on the
ferry.
ferry.
Yeah.
Well, it's not.
something
Well, it's
about-
not a plane. Right?
You know how
It's
you
not a
feel about
plane.
planes? I feel that way about boats.
Really?
I don't
Yeah.
like
Fucking
either.
boats.
I don't like either
I don't
because
like
I can't
dark
drive
water.
Yeah, I don't fuck
like.
with
I don't
boats.
like water. I can't
The
touch in the bottom.
murkiness, right? There are shocks in the water.
I just feel like fish are gonna come up and suck my toes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
I'm just like, yeah, get away from me.
You're afraid you're gonna like
Get
it.
away from
God,
me.
no, that made me like
It's just,
buckle up, dude.
yeah, dude.
Just think of a jellyfish fucking like, what's up, dude?
dude.
a Portuguese man of war.
Just the
just-
the bass. I just don't want bass on my ass. You know,
You can feel those scales just rub against you.
You know the little
slimy.
Swimming in a pond? What are you doing? A bath?
nah, fuck a pond, dude.
Bass, yeah,
You
there's
know
no
that
bass.
the fish that's
sea
like,
bass.
oh, that little clip of the fish. That's
Yeah,
what it's
yeah.
gonna do to your toes. Just
Dude,
fucking
just-
oh.
Just carp on the toes. I don't like it.
Carp in my DMs.
Sharks. I am
So basically, the best way for you to travel is to either just walk,
Walk.
right.
or
Yeah.
take a train.
Yeah.
Take a
Or
bus. No,
just,
you can't even
or
take a
just
bus.
cope with instant death.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. At the very
A
least,
quick
at
release of-
least. Although
Yeah.
the plane may not be that instant if you guys know you're going down.
That's true.
The worst part is if your phone doesn't work while you're doing that. You
Right.
can't, you know.
Set your grievances.
Yeah. Well,
At
I
least
would-
if you're on the bus from Speed.
for
you
me,
got some time.
I would be sending current market values of all the cars that I have for Brittany to sell. Don't
take anything
don't take
less
less than
than this.
$45,000 for the Type R. yeah.
Think long term.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diamond hands,
Don't want to
baby.
leave my family fatherless.
Right,
You know.
right.
That's
Yeah.
all. No big deal.
Yeah. You don't want to be in
Some
the
dark shit to
newspaper.
think about.
Yeah.
you think
I
it'd be
just.
okay.
I,
Oh, this is a
Intrusive thoughts.
intrusive thoughts. Thank you.
Yeah.
I talk about those often. Corey doesn't have them apparently.
No,
I think when he thinks he doesn't hear a voice, he sees pictures,
probably. Yeah.
and they're not in color.
Stop motion. You know.
Interesting.
It's like a flip book. It's like Mr. Pictionary.
No,
up there.
I never get those intrusive thoughts that really kind of creep in or anything like that. I kind of just like.
Yeah.
blindly-
You don't have soul crushing anxiety from all of the people who depend on you.
No, because I know I'm not gonna let them down. Yeah.
What a beast!
Yeah. I believe
this
in
is
me.
why he can eat like a
You're a better
whole
man
pizza
than me.
Yeah, yeah.
and 37 glazed donuts.
Yeah.
There's no stopping the boy.
I mean, I've coped with the idea
Yeah.
that I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
I get that
for sure.
yeah.
but it's like I don't want to die and
Right
then
now.
Everybody, well, even that, it's like, you know,
Yeah.
people depend on me. You know, like after the first time my kids ever say "fuck you" to me, then I'll be like, all right, fucking,
I'll die tonight.
get me on a plane. They're
Get out of here.
good. They're
We're flying to Long
fine.
Beach. Yeah.
They figured it out. They're good. But as they're young, you know, they don't know shit about fuck. So I'm trying
Right.
to
Right.
get 'em all
Extend
learned
that as
up.
much as you can.
You got those
Yeah.
nights where you just close your eyes to go to bed, and you're like, "What happens after we die? Is it nothing?"
I don't even need to close my children. My 5-year-old daughter never gives me softball questions. It's always like, who was the first person ever alive on the planet? I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Ugh.
You haven't even brushed your teeth. You're asking me about
Dude,
fucking
literally.
the first person on Earth.
I had to do the death talk,
Yeah.
you know.
And it's not like they
She's-
can
she was-
fully grasp
She
it.
was 3 years old.
That's why.
So she started talking solid,
yeah.
like a scholar at like 2.
Yeah.
2.
Father, what happens after our eyes close forever?
What will bequest of me when I am dead? Yeah, no, she's like, am I going to die someday? I'm like, bro, eat your macaroni.
Oh my fucking
Shut up. Sit down. Yeah.
Right.
You slow turn. You're like,
Meanwhile, my wife is like, whew, fuck
You
it.
shouldn't ask me.
Right.
dude, I would have looked at my.
Good luck with
I would've
that.
looked
She
at-
can,
I would have looked at my Brit and been like, "Are you? Is she fucking kidding me right now?
Dude.
There's this question.
rough.
Yeah.
It was rough.
I just got home from
Yeah.
work.
She asked me about what happens when everybody in the world, what happens at the end of the world, at the end of time, when everyone's dead.
The end of time.
I'm like, I don't know, dude.
Solid answer.
That's a legitimate. Like that's a good way to leave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know
Yeah.
what? I have no fucking clue.
Yeah. And then with the first person ever, I sprang the whole chicken or the egg concept on her. That got her to go to bed.
Yeah.
And then she asked me about it the next day, and she's like, "Who was the first person ever alive?" I'm like, "Well, nobody knows, Some people think they know.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. But otherwise, nobody knows. I don't know.
You're like, listen,
There's really no.
Then
I don't know who
and
the
then
first
death
person
talk.
was, but if you want to know the accurate shock, quick rebound and soft rebound and spring rate,
Yeah.
I'm the
Critical-
guy.
Right, you get that. yeah.
35% critical dampening percent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to know the spring rate setup on an FK8 to go tracking, I got you.
Yeah.
But I don't know who the first motherfucker on earth.
No. Why don't you ask me something easy like fission?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Uh,
Quantum physics.
speaking of tracking,
Mm.
you get to go to Ireland,
Yep.
Ear.
and you were tracking.
Yeah. Went and saw me boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saw me boys over in Ireland. Yeah.
Do some tracking.
Good man over in Ireland. Yeah, I went over. Dude, first trip was crazy.
Yep.
So I had always wanted to go to Ireland. I'm obviously a big Irish guy, literally. And so my grandfather came from northwestern Ireland, Killybegs, County Donegal. And so it was always known, like, you're Irish in this family.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're Irish. And so I'd always wanted to go. And I had always hoped, because I knew that Ireland had a big car community or was interested in motorsport and specifically rally or car, Japanese cars stuff. So I'm like, wow, this is like perfect, So we went over for the LZ World Tour, and we stayed for 10 days. That was the first time we'd taken a vacation since I started the business.
Mm-hmm.
You go as a family?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I brought Brittany, I brought the kids, and we went over. So we did the world tour, and we did 10 days, and we drove the entire outer rim of the island.
Didn't fly. Nope. Drove it.
It's like 73 miles across.
Yeah.
I know.
So
I'm just
we
I'm
we
fucking-
walked, and we got everywhere. in 10
put our
days.
Jerusalem cruisers on.
Yeah. No, we hitchhiked. But no, it was fantastic. And actually, I tracked down and found my family in Killybegs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. 4 generations
Removed from.
removed, yeah. So we met these people. They were in their 80s. I had a really weird, like, obscure phone number, or maybe an old phone number, and a name of like a bed and breakfast that they ran years ago. It's since been closed. These people are in their 80s. So I found an old listing on the Wayback Machine, and found the house, and it had a number, and it ended up being the cell phone of like this woman's niece. And I basically just said, hey, this is going to sound weird. I'm from the U.S. and I'm here with my family, and I'm looking for my family in Killybegs. And I told her the story about how my grandma and grandpa used to come over, and she's like, oh, like, that must be my aunt that you're talking about. Like, this is, because I'm like, the last time they were here was 20 years ago, and my grandfather died like 15 years ago. So, or 17 years ago now. And so I'm like, yeah. So she's like, oh, that's my aunt. Let me call them. They're well into their 80s. They might not even remember. The aunt had a stroke, so she didn't remember really anything. So she calls. They remembered my grandfather. They said, come over right away.
That's
So
cool.
we
that's
went
a
over
great-
there, and it was incredible, very
Yeah.
special. And then while I was at the world tour, I met Gary and his father Tommy, and that's where I ended up going more recently when I went for the drift trip here for the Bosch.
Mhm.
And we became friends, and now look at me go.
There you go.
that-
Look at you go.
Get that
man.
Irish connect.
Yeah, it's, dude, these guys are the best. When I say they're the best, like, they're the best.
Yeah.
It just
I thought
they
we
make
were
you
the
feel
best.
Lads. Just
they-
a bunch of lads.
like in terms of like you're in a strange place,
yeah.
Yeah.
on the other side of the world. Not really, I mean, everybody speaks English and they look kind of like us, so it's like not a huge deal. But
Huge
Um,
potato fans.
dude, their potatoes are just fucking off the chain. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Straight off the
Like,
tee.
I would eat their shittiest potato off the street after someone stepped on it with a piss boot versus the best potatoes in the U.S. Their potato game is incredible. Their cider game is incredible. They're just really nice people, and it's a fantastic time.
So
I'm going to go back more.
I always enjoy how the automotive world can just break down barriers. You know what I mean? And just instantly like, oh, you're good. We're in the same shit. Cool. Where it just, you're there.
Right. Yeah, it's like it's the instant. And I mean, well, I told you the story about Spain and
Yes,
all that,
yeah,
right?
yep.
And I had never met these people.
Yep.
But it's like if you can find somebody with that same enthusiasm about something, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, they don't give a shit. You could be in an active war zone, you know, and you roll up on somebody, and if they're a car person, and you're like, yo, 3S GTE, bro, like, they're all right, fuck it, you know, I'll aid in the bed, you know.
Yeah.
Here is AK. Get in car.
Right. Yeah.
You got it, buddy.
Yeah. It's dude, cars, incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So that was fun. You've been how often have you gotten to drive? Obviously, it's not season of driving right now for us, but you drove over there while you're in Ireland, right?
Yep. Drove over in Ireland. I did not drive at the LZ World Tour. That was like an invite deal.
Yep.
So I was just there hanging out, sort of making acquaintances and flexing my knowledge a little bit for people, just to let them know, like, hey, if you need some help, like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm a fucking superstar.
I'm kind of the fucking man.
Yeah. So I lent a hand to the boys, to the lads, and didn't drive that time. So then Gary actually during that time he's like, oh, you ought to come out for a bash, you know, and I'm like, oh, sure, you know, like, ha ha ha.
Yeah,
like, I'm not like these guys. I can't just ball out like dropping stacks to rent a car. He's like, no, come out. I got a car for you.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, okay, like, I'm serious. Like, you come out.
Yeah, we'll give you a car.
You can stay at my house. I'll give you a car. He paid for all the fucking tires. He paid for all the fuel. Like, dude, freaking set me up. Rolled out the red carpet. I'm like, hey, you know I'm not that famous, right? Like, I'm a fucking chump, you know? But it was awesome. So I went out a couple days early. I helped him work on some stuff in the shop. I put out a video about it. I don't know if you guys saw that, but we had some cars to prep and things like that. We got up to some adventures and sourcing parts and not sneaking, but you know, borrowing some parts from some cars for the guys from Drift Games to make, you know, Eddie's car put back together so we could drive that and stuff. It was fun. It was a good adventure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I drove that whole weekend, and that was my first time driving a Z.
Yep.
Drifting a Z. I've driven plenty of Zs, but that was my first time drifting a Z. First time driving a car with an angle kit. First time driving a car with a hydro. First time drifting right-hand drive.
Oh,
First time at Mondello.
Yeah. Right. So
Mondello
In the
looks
fucking
sick.
wet.
yeah.
You
So
know.
you're just throwing everything at
Cold,
yourself.
wet.
Is
Yeah,
it just always slimy there?
it was pretty slimy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to experience FD
That's why the
power.
potatoes grow
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like, whole corner, full
Right.
throttle.
Yeah. Stock motor Z.
Just
Yeah.
feels like FD.
Dude, I was just like, it was power over in third gear. Like
Yeah.
no clutch kicks, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
If it
shit.
rains at a Lock City, I'll let you drive my car. You could pretend like you're a FD.
Well, I got a lot of rain. I got a lot of rain practice in the
Yeah,
orange car
you're
in the FRS, but
It's incredible.
yeah, I'd love to. I want to drive as many cars as I can this year. And like honestly, I took to the right-hand drive thing very quickly,
Yeah.
and now I'm afraid I won't be able to use the hydro in a left-hand drive car because I have
Just because you
literally
get so used
had
to.
no experience
Yeah.
with a hydro at all.
Yeah.
You know, I turn the car on the foot brake. I always have. That's from the grip stuff.
Yep.
You know, pointing the car and if you're mid slide and you got to either continue a trajectory to your apex or you know you're in a controlled slide or something like that, you're turning with a foot brake. There's like no handbrake in half the race cars I've ever driven.
Yeah.
So it's not my first inclination to like grab for the handbrake. I certainly understand its usefulness, and certainly now like being in proximity for chase and things like that, and being able to close the gap while not driving in. You know,
Yeah.
like there's no forward. I just want to get closer in proximity or maintain angle, but I don't want to go forward and you end up on the inside of the guy. So yeah, learned a lot, and then I had I had Gary ride with me. He gave me a bunch of pointers, showed me the line, and showed me the clipping points, and the teachers were really good, and it helped me to respond well, and yeah, it was fucking awesome.
Which is good, especially getting you out of your comfort zone, you know, of just, hey, here's another. You never know what you're going to soak in from it. And
I
just
was shaking,
go-
dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ. I am not. And I told him the whole time, I'm like, dude, I'm not good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. I've done 5 events ever. Ever. And 3 of them, my car fucking sucked.
I still shake.
Like, I couldn't.
My first couple of laps, I shake. I feel like you're going to for a
just,
while.
your
Especially
clutch
if-
foot is just going.
Especially if I'm in a tandem. Because I'm like, my car could crush, that guy's car could crush, I could kill somebody. you
Fuck,
know.
the plane could crash.
Yeah, the wings could be filled with fuel.
Just bomb tube.
Bomb tube.
Yeah.
I could just tube stake through the fence, kill somebody in the stands. Like,
Speaking of, oh yeah,
Shit
that was,
happens,
that was
man.
one of the last.
Tires could explode.
There's a
Anything.
There's an issue at the last event. Remember the Infinity?
The up and over.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I think I was actually in Ireland when that happened.
I don't
Somebody
know.
sent me that link to that.
Dude,
thing.
I don't know how that's fucking.
Might have been
possible,
Jay
man.
Sear.
I was-
Shout out Jay Sear.
Big shout. So he was in the chat before. Yeah, I was just like, how? That
Went to high
but
school with
whatever.
that guy.
Dude,
He
Dude,
stinks.
what a handsome
He
guy
stinks.
that guy is.
No, I'm just kidding.
I fucking love Jay. He's great.
Yeah, I love Jay.
what do you have going on, obviously, besides everything else and all the travels and drifting and all that good stuff at the shop? You know, because at some
Yeah,
point,
you're gonna do the Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
at some point, you gotta, fund things and figure out how you're gonna make a living.
Yep. Yeah. We have, dude, we have a ridiculous amount of stuff going on at the shop. Ridiculous. Basically, we've had a ridiculous amount of stuff going on at the shop since COVID. And it's just never dropped off.
Yeah.
So we're doing Chuck's GTR. I know that I'm sure that you guys have talked about that.
Yeah.
I
Well,
can't-
Chuck does.
You know, my ears have been bleeding. I know that yours. I haven't had a lot of time to watch the lives and stuff like that. So I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
only assume that people are badgering him. Where's your car? Where's your car? Where's your car? Where's your car?
I think a
No,
lot
honestly,
of it is,
not really.
yeah, I think a lot of it is just like a lot of people know Chuck, so they know like
It's
it,
not.
it didn't
simple.
go in to get a different turbo.
No,
It's so
it's
like
not simple.
yeah,
Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
and
it's,
it has
I
run
think-
away.
Didn't it start at just a turbo?
No, it was the.
And then
it
he was like, I'll just do a long block.
actually no,
I'll just do a stroker.
no. It started with, hey, I bought this turbo kit, and because he bought the replacement turbos,
Right,
to
yeah.
replace the manifold,
Right.
and then he brought it to you to take a look at, and it was. This is. I think I said this to Seamus the other day. This is the biggest case of while you're in there I've
Oh
ever seen in my
Oh,
entire
yeah.
life.
God.
But it all right, hey, I have this kit, I want to do it. And it was he I think he'd say it himself. He was pretty okay with trying to do it himself, but he was like, I don't know. I really want to have somebody who knows what they're doing do this. So
Yeah,
it
you
started with
found all the
that.
poo-poo.
And then it was you seen the harness and the management and you were like,
Not a poo-poo.
That was like
we can't
that
do
was
this.
like
We can't do this.
4,000 steps. in.
Right. That was like
Like-
where it began.
So
And we don't have to we're not gonna get into all the ins and outs, but for
Yeah.
you and him,
it's
it's just a matter of like it's there, it's coming along.
huge
it's
project.
It's a lot of stuff.
It's a
and
huge
and I
project.
will. I don't know if I want to divulge the exact details of the motor, but the
I don't
motor
think he wants you to.
I was gonna
The-
say I don't think he would want you to.
the motor needed to be built.
yeah,
I think that's fair to say because of years ago. The damper either wasn't installed appropriately or something like that years ago, and the damper. I went to take the damper bolt off. Now these are like 395 foot-pounds
Notoriously,
plus
like-
240 degrees plus hit it with the fucking moon.
yeah.
You know, and it didn't. There was zero ugga-duggas. It just came out.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like, this is a problem.
That's alarming.
So the pulley was walking. It had shrank the snout of the crank.
Yep.
Crank junk. So then, I pull the block out. Block cracked. This is 4 blocks in a row. Cracked at the stud holes. So I'm
Not
like,
for his Ford you've just seen
for the last 4 RBs in a row.
that you've worked on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have had cracked stud holes. These are all 05U or GTR blocks, 12 millimeter head stud holes, and they all have cracks between the stud hole and the cooling jacket. All of them. So I'm like, well, this block is trash, and the crank is trash, and because everything's been shaking around so much in the front, the oil pump's trash, and he had like a nice Tomei $1,000 deal. It was sick, built
Yeah.
like gears, whatever. So that was trash. The head was trash. It was all trash. So I'm like, we got to get you a block. We're not going to get a stock crank. We're not, So we went through, and it's a whole thing, and I'll let Chuck, get into those details later. But yeah, it was every single step of the way was like, oh, look at that, that's trash. And look at this, that's
It was
garbage.
just
So it really became like, okay, let's do it one time. He doesn't care how long it takes.
Yeah.
Stop badgering me, everyone. He doesn't care how long it takes to a certain degree.
people reaching out on Chuck's
Right.
behalf.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. Whoa, dude. Mostly Jordan just doing that.
Makes sense.
Um,
Makes sense. He's in there now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just like, okay, well, if this is going to be this, then we got to do this. And if you're going to make power, then we got to have gears. And if you're going to blah, 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 blah. So everything got extreme. And, Chuck's a pretty easy guy. He's a pretty easygoing guy. And he's like, it doesn't need to be mint. It's not a show car. It doesn't, whatever. But the outside of the car is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, my TISM can't allow me
Alarm
to
bells
put
are ringing.
this thing in that bay.
Yeah.
That is booty. We gotta get this worked out. So I was able to convince him on that, whatever. So it's needless to say, it's gonna be out of control,
Tight butthole.
gorgeous,
very tight
Two
butthole.
tree
Very-
GT3s later.
very new electronics.
Yeah.
Very, very cool stuff. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
AC too.
AC.
AC
yeah,
as
all
well.
brand
I remember
new,
that
all
kit.
brand
Yeah,
new
we did
AC.
hear about that. He did buy 2 gauge clusters.
Okay, so you are up to speed on that. Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
putting a UC10 in that bad boy. We got a baller over here. And it's funny, too. So there's this guy, Tony, who's fantastic. He's from Scituate as well,
Yep.
with a 32 GTR,
Yep.
referred by Chuck. Same motor, same trans, extra
Yeah.
on a bunch of things. A bit more power.
Uh-oh. Now Chuck's going to have to get a bit more power.
No,
How
no,
much bit are we talking?
Chuck's good. Probably 200 horsepower more.
Oh.
Chuck's good.
Whole
Chuck-
rebuild's coming now.
Chuck, no. I like his approach. And it's specific around the turbo kit.
Yep.
I like his approach. I like his approach. Let's put it that way. I
Yeah.
don't like the kit. I don't like I love the turbos, but I don't like the kit. I don't like the complexity. I don't like the plumbing. I don't like, I don't think that those cars shine that way. But I love that he's doing it this way with these turbos. If there was any way to do it, this is the way.
Yeah.
So I really, really like that. So the two cars are going to be quite a bit different. He's still staying ITBs. Tony's car is not. We're going common plenum, thank God. ITBs are going to be great, Chuck. But yeah, very, very similar. And now Tony wants to do a UC10, and so it's out of control. Tony's
You got them like Bay 1, Bay 2, like part for part. Like
yeah,
boom, boom, boom.
Tony's car is currently out for paint, but yes, we did have them next to each other. It was a battle of the bills.
Full
but-
cocks out.
Oh yeah, he's got
Swinging.
gold anodized endless brakes and he reached out to Powerhouse Amuse and they custom made him a 1-of-1 4-inch titanium exhaust. It's serious.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then we've got another. Aaron's GTR is still. You remember that one that I brought down for body work? That was that's a 2.6 liter. It's an overbore, 86.5 mil, but
can't
it's a
picture that
stock
one.
stroke. Also, is gray,
Yeah.
typical 32 GTR gray. The bay is all done up. That's a VCAM setup and this and that, all new fuel system, all new. Yeah,
The car.
that car.
Okay.
So that car was turnkey, ready to go on the dyno. That's a fresh build, VCAM 8374, 6-boost manifold, Greddy Common Plenum. Or no, actually, that's ITB. I'm sorry. Yeah, all gone through, all, soup to nuts, gorgeous. But I sent the car down to 88 Customs in Groton, Connecticut, and he fucked that car up. Bad.
Oh,
Bad.
I heard about
Bad.
this guy.
He hacked the living shit out of that car.
What was he doing?
And I hope he's listening because he's a bitch.
Right, well,
He fucked my friend John.
Sorry to bring that tone
No,
onto
no,
the
it-
onto the chat here, guys.
what happened?
So I bought him brand new. I supplied all the materials. I brought him brand new Heritage quarter panels.
Mm-hmm.
They're like $1,800 a piece plus $3,000 shipping, freight. Whatever. It was fucking out of control. He was supposed to cut out all the rust, patch all the stuff, fix all the stuff. None of that happened.
Yeah, I already know this is
None
going.
of that happened. He just slapped on the quarters. I mean, there were pinholes all around the window jams where water can get in. There was Bondo snakes spiraling into the holes where you just, mudded into those jam areas. These cars are already very susceptible to rust in those areas. And he just hacked the whole thing so bad. And, it has paint. It's shiny-ish. But you know, when
glaring issues.
there from 10 feet away, you'd be like, oh, you know, it's a great car. It's all painted up. Dude, you get this thing on a lift, and I honestly paid it no mind. The car came back from bodywork, and it was so delayed anyway. I'm like, let me get this motor in. Let me get whatever. And I started looking, and I'm like, holy shit. The lift jack pad on the rear left of the car was removed and not replaced. It was replaced with like some galvanneal for HVAC. I mean, it was trash. It was $25,000.
Oh, Maron.
It's 25 grand. Took a year. Some of that was on me. Some of that was on Trusky Kaku because it took him a while to get the quarter panels and this and that or whatever. Actually, Curtis from THN Parts ended up getting me the second quarter because TKGT took so damn long. Shout out Curtis. He's awesome. If you guys need OEM Nissan parts, THN, Tom Hesser Nissan, they're out of Pennsylvania. They're fantastic. Curtis is fantastic. But he ended up getting me the quarter panel. He drove it because they don't ship oversized items. He drove it to Hartford and met me from Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Yep.
Fantastic guys. Don't expect that type of service, everybody. But he did me a special solid. And so yeah, $25,000. The guy told me to basically go F myself, and that
I was just gonna ask, what car was there? Any?
Oh, this car was a rust bucket. This and that. It's like, dude, it's at your place for restoration.
Yeah, you're the guy that fixes.
What do you expect me to bring you a mint car?
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? You know, obviously the guy's a broke loser. He didn't have any money left. There's no money's coming back.
Are all paint guys this bad?
No, they're not. It's just it took me forever to find somebody. So the car's now up at Victory Auto Designs, and these guys are fantastic. They got the TISM. I wish I found them sooner. They're going to actually create appropriate patch panels. The car is stripped totally back down again. Quarter panels are cut back off. I mean, it's going to be another $35,000.
That guy fucked my friend who has an M3. Like last week.
The purple one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally last week.
I almost sent him a message just being like, hey, like, but I'm like, you know what? The drama's beneath me, I guess. But
I can show you the pictures. It's pretty bad.
It's
rough.
I haven't talked about this publicly yet because we weren't sure. Aaron wasn't sure if he was going to go the legal route or whatever. And I'm like, you're just going to make your lawyer rich. This guy's got no money.
Right. There's nothing to.
He's taken off to Texas or some.
Yeah, he packed his shop up recently and he's done.
He's a fucking loser. But either way, so I just feel bad for Aaron. He is the best.
Yeah, he's just out and
he just wants a good quality car. And he's willing to pay. He was already willing to pay. These guys are fantastic. I'm so glad that I found them. You know, they do fantastic work.
I see a lot of TISM happening.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap, but good work shouldn't be cheap. And here's the thing. I would have paid $25,000 happily for the previous job.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it had like a run in the clear, I don't give a shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like a fist-size hole in the wheel tub, bro.
Right, that's
Just not kosher.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
That's fucking nefarious behavior.
In another place, in another time, you'd have been on the ground.
Yeah.
Like it's just not. So whatever. You know, for me, again, it's going back to you're under my purview.
Right. You want to take care of your client.
Right. And you know, it sucks.
Okay. That makes
these fellers.
Yeah, that makes way more sense.
You know these fellers.
Yeah.
A couple handsome lads right there.
Kid on the left looks like he's wearing a mask.
Michael Myers? Yeah. I was going to say, he's got
Talented.
Michael Myers' hair.
He's a very talented guy. He's a very, very cool,
That's cool.
Volvo, very cool. I think it's a 928 or 924.
That's awesome. Hey, you know what? Victory Auto Design. There you go. You heard it here
They're
first.
fantastic guys. Send them all your work after my work's done. Okay.
Just only after.
Jordan says, "What's Dan doing at the shop? Killing it. He's awesome.
You're working on a B7 S4.
Yeah.
B6 S4.
Yeah, we got John's B7 S4 over there.
B6 or B7? I always get
It's a
confused.
B7. It's an 09.
Yellow.
Yep.
Love it.
Yellow Avant manual.
Yeah.
I think it's like
Wow.
a sub 15 production
Yeah.
car.
It's
It's sub
something.
15 units. Yeah, very, very cool.
Oh, you said 09?
09 or
Still a 4.2?
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Motor's junk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, as expected. Yeah.
Big surprise. Big surprise.
Those motors.
We were gonna do the chains,
Almost
and we
immediately.
pulled it out, and it was 3 valves. So 3 valves had hit pistons. It must have been running like that for like 40,000 miles.
Oh wow.
So motor's not junk technically. I mean,
It's
if you
not
really- if you
junk,
think
but
about it.
it's so there's. I mean, we're talking 40 valves.
Yeah,
It's a lot of valves.
That's a lot of valves.
A lot of valves.
A lot of valves.
Crooked Joe. Yeah. So there's a lot of valves. A lot of
We're
valves,
sleeping now.
and it was cheaper. We have a lot of valves.
All the
the
valves
best-
will work when I'm in office.
The best valve. Do you see these valves? So we just ended up getting another junkyard
Walked
motor.
to the garage and said, "Damn those valves!"
Right.
So
That's a lot of valves.
Huge,
lot of valves.
huge valves. So we bought another junkyard motor. We're going to do all the services and stuff on
These
it.
things are
Very,
just
Wow.
very
unbelievable
cool.
looking
Very cool.
cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a whole host of mods. We're doing a twin disc. We're doing downpipes, exhaust, full arm service, full brake service, wheels, tires. Did custom valved and sprung BC DS coilovers, TCS spec. Motor, the new now replacement motor or junkyard motor is going to get the full chain service and all the things.
guides
Yeah,
and
all the
all the stuff.
All
In
the
reality,
things.
this will be good for the rest of his lifetime.
Absolutely,
With
yeah.
the amount he would
it's-
drive, yeah.
Right. He's like, I just love the car.
Yeah.
It might be a
I get it.
1,000 mile a year car, a 2,000 mile a year car, whatever. I just want to have it forever. And, you know, I'm a big wagon daddy. I love that. So let's do it.
Yeah,
do it.
it's a cool car.
I wonder if the junkyard motor that you get will have sand in the intake.
Probably not.
Probably not. No.
Probably
I didn't
not.
think so.
Although it could, if the intake's ever been off, then yes.
Perhaps.
There's potential. There's potential.
quite a lot of sand in mine.
You finished the Lotus.
Lotus is done.
Yeah.
Only took 3 years.
Delivered? Officially delivered?
Officially delivered. He drove it home. He drove it home,
That's so-
folks, in the winter.
That's
With
yeah.
413 wheel. That was the lowest amount of power I could make. It is a
wild.
creep master.
Jesus, dude. How does that thing weigh?
It's like 2,000 pounds. Yeah. So the power to weight is like it's like an 800 horsepower GTR, 900 horsepower GTR.
It's like a street bike
It's
that you
fucking
sit
rowdy.
in.
It's
Yeah.
fucking rowdy. Yeah, and it's so deceivingly fast because it was built so well. You know, but no,
Feels like you're
but
going nowhere.
The intake's very quiet. It has a very linear sort of transient spool space. It just and it lifts the nose up and you're going. And it doesn't. It's not super violent. It's not laggy. It's just power. Like you're just on it.
Yeah.
And it's that car is good, real good. All the little trinkety systems and whatever. That's why it took 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, and we were actively working on it pretty much the whole time. And the owner is very meticulous, and he's been fantastic to work with, Jeff. And he basically gave us carte blanche. He's like, make this thing sick.
Yeah.
And we made it sick.
Yeah.
Every single thing was custom made and, you know, nestled together. And I mean, we compacted everything into the back of that car. It still has a trunk.
That's wild.
Most people who turbo K-swap Lotuses and stuff, they don't have trunks. They cut them all out. They put the intercooler back there. And this and that. He wanted a trunk. He wanted to be enclosed. We did heat shielding and enclosing and all. I mean, Evan killed it on the fab on that car. But yeah, it's like 12 pounds of boost. Makes like 413 wheel, 310 or 315 torque. That's the lowest it can go.
Yeah.
K Powell, baby. RBB3? No, it's built. It's got to be, right?
No, totally bone stock junkyard motor. From JDM Engine Depot. With no dirt. in
Sand.
it. Yeah, with no sand and no
And
motor.
mucky poo poo caca.
No mucky poo poo caca.
Mine had poop in its ass.
Yeah. Luck of the draw.
I want to do.
You got to get in there, negotiate it out with your finger.
I don't know if I need 400 wheel, but Turbo Kit's definitely on the horizon. Whoa, that was a. I bent the arm. I bent it. The horizon.
Be careful. Keep it below your shoulder.
Jesus,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to the K series.
Fingers open. Fingers open. Don't be doing it, Elon.
Jazz fingers.
What else is going on in the shop? Long-term projects, talking about those. What are some like fun, quick turnaround stuff you've been working on? If that even exists. I don't know if that exists at your shop.
I've tried. I've tried. I don't know why. We don't get that kind of stuff.
Maybe you should just put the sign out.
I never got that impression either.
$10 oil changes for the day or something.
Right, yeah. Bring in your rusty Dodge Caravans. We'll get you fixed up.
Spin you right around.
They
Wipe
come in,
the
you're like,
blades.
so we're doing what? Intake, header, exhaust? And they're like, oh, I got this list. And then
Right.
fucking the sound of silence starts playing and it slowly starts zooming in on your face. And you're like,
It's a 2003 Dodge Grand Caravan. I have a Hellcat engine. Is there anything you can do about that?
I could just hear the song. Doon, 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 doon. It just
He's like,
I have $150,000 to spend that I got in a trust fund. Awesome. Good.
and I really like this van.
Right, yeah. That's really
Love
what
this
it, yeah,
van.
that's somehow my life.
if
They
we could
find
make it
me-
all-wheel drive, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, they find me. They find me.
I mean, it could be worse, right?
Yeah, no, I mean it's really an empty complaint. I
Yeah.
love it. You know, we like to do crazy stuff, and we like to do it all the way. We don't, you know, I just don't like. There are some things that I like that are pre-made and prefabbed and whatever, and there are some designs that other people do, other groups, other companies do that I'm like, I like this. This resonates with me. This is probably the way I would have solved that problem. I respect your design. I respect the features here. Yes, this is something that I'll purchase or I'll spend my customers' money on. But most of it is garbage. I mean, garbage. Like we were just talking about, you know, 4-piston earlier. Everybody holds those guys. They're like Jesus incarnate for the case they're fucking garbage. Those guys are garbage. I had 7 motors in a row. Trash. Done. Less than 3,000 miles, all of them.
Garbage.
Garbage. Garbage.
Garbage.
I was telling you earlier.
Garbage. I hope you're listening, Luke. Garbage.
I was telling you earlier. It's interesting because looking at, I mean, like social media is not real, right? But you look at it from the outside, and you're like, well, these guys are out there the ones doing it.
Yeah.
They're killing it. Because like visually, what they're putting on is that what you're seeing.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, I was like, see these guys, they're sitting on a couch, they're smoking some cigars. I'm like, what's going on here?
Right.
You know, they're talking some shit. I want to
yeah,
know more.
with Dave
Got to
and
know
Jamie.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really an interesting thing because their audience or their fan base has preceded their quality, their output. So really now they have this private army of people where they don't even really need to say anything. They don't need to defend themselves. They just have these. Gosh, what's the perfect way to describe it?
Lemmings.
Minions.
Street crew.
Mercenaries.
Mercenaries.
Right? They have these mercenaries
Sell
that come
swords.
out and you know they'll just start shooting and taking bullets for this company. Not that they're customers, they're just fanboys.
They're just supporters.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, they're not people who have $20,000 to put a motor together. They're just guys who are like, oh yeah, the 4-pistons are the best. I bought their shirt, you know.
Wait, what are their valve springs then? Are they just rebranded junk?
So their
Because
valves
that was the play, the 4P93 PSI. We could save this for another day. I'm just curious.
So, well, it's hard because, you know, when the money was flowing, he was acquiring things.
But now, China.
China.
Okay.
No, no, I don't know. I don't know.
We
I
don't
don't. I don't care. I don't know.
It's hearsay.
For a long time, they used SuperTech. Because here's the thing: it depends on what cam you go with, right? So Drag Cartel,
3 2s.
Luke, you're right. Drag Cartel 3.2, Drag Cartel 2.2 Enduro. If you got a stock compression K24 or whatever, the gold standard, and this is what I've run into them multiple times: head failures, the fit, the Fit Type R that we did a video on.
Oh wow, I didn't know that
2,000 miles that motor
Oh,
ate
boy.
itself. The
Yeehaw.
cylinder head ate itself. And that was the gold standard build. 12.5 to 1 compression, 2.4 bottom, stock crank, 99 millimeter stroke. It was their Pro TSX head, which is the same as a Pro 156, in terms of it's 340 CFM head. Drag Cartel 3.2s, SuperTech 1021s. That's the gold standard spring.
Yep.
You don't have to shim them. Don't have to shim them. Bullshit. The valve seat cut was so aggressive that they were chewing themselves up at the standard rate. And we usually do ours because we do cars that are dual use. They go on the track, they go on the street, they go, whatever. So we like to use steel retainers instead of titanium. Those are usually done in a 2-year life cycle. They gall, you need to replace them. A lot of people don't. They just end up chucking a rod or the motor breaks down before they have a chance to even, replace them or whatever. But titanium retainers for a long use motor, don't do it. Tool steel or chromoly or steel is definitely the way to go. It's a heavier retainer. It's twice the weight of a titanium retainer. You do need to shim. You need to preload your springs. So you know that standard 95 pound, 97 pound installed spring pressure, seat pressure, it doesn't apply to the steel retainer kits. Now they still sell them the same way. Drag Cartel 3.2, 1021, steel, blah, blah, blah. But they float. And we were only spinning that car to 8,000 RPM.
Mm-hmm.
And they were floating so bad that it whooped up the seats and it dropped a valve. It snapped the head of a valve off. And you don't snap the head of a SuperTech valve off because they don't do the friction stir weld of the stem to the valve head. They do stem to stem up in the guide area so that they don't break in the common spot. And we snapped the head off.
Yeah, I remember
Of a
people
valve.
saying that those are bad because they do it that way, but
No, they're fantastic.
I rarely ever
They're
hear of somebody
fantastic.
breaking a SuperTech valve.
Like 4P, they had some issues. Big surprise. It was their seat cut, right? So they were running SuperTech valves. They had problems. Seat cut was too aggressive. They were setting down too aggressively, meaning coming off the lobe, and the valve was setting down too aggressively. They were floating. They were undersprung. The contact patch was too small. So their repair, their fix, was to basically shim the spring seat up to 120 pounds. That'll get them to set down soft, and it saves their bad valve job with spring pressure. It's not exactly that simple, but that's just the easiest way to explain it. I'm sure that, Luke, if he would bleed out of his fucking ears or whatever, but I mean, he's not really an authority on anything anyway because all of his stuff is trash. But their port job is very good. And what are we reopening?
He's talking about Counter-Strike skins.
Oh God.
I thought we were reopening cases, cold cases. Yeah, we're
Like,
opening them up.
we're-
Worms.
Either way, so basically, excuse me for a second. So, whatever. So that motor failed. I don't know. Well, how did we get on the topic of talking shit? Oh, so anyway, so
I think it was just stuff in the shop.
stuff in the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
K
know.
series.
Now I'm all spun
You're all
up.
chapped.
All spun
Oh,
up.
I asked about the turbo kit, and then we got here.
What turbo kit? On the
Oh,
Lotus?
Lotus. That's what I remember
Oh,
last.
it's EFR. EFR, typical. Everything I can put an EFR on, I put an EFR on.
Yeah.
So that was a 7163, same turbo that they run in IndyCar. It's just perfect. Perfect setup for that. Chuck's running EFR 6258s on his car, twins. That's the smallest EFR they make. They're fantastic. My wagon's got an 8474 Black Series on it. It's like a 800 horsepower deal. Brittany's car is going to have a 7670 EFR. I didn't even tell you about Brittany's new drift car,
No.
IS300.
Okay.
Yeah, IS300 coupe, doing an NA turbo, EFR 7670, 400 wheel. Not this year. We'll leave it NA this year, doing a manual swap. Put a ZF5 in it
Yep.
out of a BMW. But next year, yeah, NAT.
Anything obscure in the shop?
Obscure. In what sense?
I don't know.
like,
Just-
we've got our stuff. We like Mark IV Supras. We like 32 GTRs. We like FDs. We
Yeah.
like Hondas. We like.
Any
I've had like a dozen S2000s this year at least.
real okay.
All Haltech.
What about like an interesting chassis that they're having do something that you don't typically see? Like if somebody was gonna,
I've got two 575 Maranellos in there right now doing custom Penske's on.
there it
them.
is.
That's interesting.
There we go. Squeeze the juice from the lemon.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If somebody's like, "Yeah, I'm drifting a Civic," that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
only we knew somebody who did that. James,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Sure,
Nissan,
right.
yeah.
The
He
good
was-
kisser. Yeah.
He was the,
the kisser.
he was the head
Yeah.
of the merger before the merger.
Yeah. Yes, Tanasi's S2000. Yeah, I think I'm saying his name right, Tanasi. Yeah, yeah,
Looks like
we're
it.
doing that. So that so what's crazy? I don't know why we have every single version of the top level S2000 aero kits, like the legendary aero kits. We have them all at the shop right now.
Amuse.
Got it.
Got it.
Yep.
I don't know the other ones.
So Tanasi's car. Yep. We have the full Spoon North American demo car from
That's
Go
hot.
Tuning Unlimited.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's the glass lens one.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I mean, we have the US Go Tuning Unlimited Spoon North America display car at our shop.
Wait, the whole S2K?
Yes, the silver one.
Oh, okay. Not the one that Danny had for a bit.
Not the blue and yellow one.
That was the
No.
Japan one.
That's the Japan. That's a race car.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was Go Tuning Unlimited's display car. It had everything from the Spoon catalog except a Spoon motor. It has a Spoon motor now, so now it's complete. Yeah.
You got all the Infinity Stones.
They finally got one from Hector.
We have a full ASM Aero S2000,
Nice.
all dry carboned out, and
Ooh.
super sick.
Why is it's just sitting there?
No, these are all active customers.
Oh.
Yeah, so Ray.
I thought you just had the body kits.
No, this is the whole cars.
That's crazy.
Done. Yeah.
The kit. With
On
the
the
car.
car.
Yeah,
With the whole car.
on the wall. No, they're on cars, dude. They're on cars. The ASM car. So that's Ray. Ray has the 24,000 mile NSX, the red one
Fire.
with the
Yep.
with the NSXR
Yeah,
wheels
yeah,
and all that
yep.
stuff. Beautiful car.
Yep.
Beautiful car. Original paint. We had the motor out of that. Did a 30K service on that. Now I got to pull the trans back out. I'm going to do a NA1 basically NSXR gear set in that with a 1.5 way plate type diff. He's got the ASM prepped S2000 that's got a J's 13-to-1 compression 2.2 long block in it. That car's sick. And then he bought my CRZ, the street
Yep.
car, and we
Which
are
is back, right? It's
Yeah.
back for.
fully built into a endurance car.
That's
Yeah, K24 cage fuel cell. This car is out of control.
Going the distance,
I mean,
dude.
it's,
Jesus.
dude, you got to come and look at this thing.
I was gonna
It's-
say, we gotta-
I'm gonna put out a video soon. It's outrageous.
Yeah.
I was looking for photos
Outrageous.
here, and they're all reels. I don't. Think
I
I
would
can
love
play
to
that.
come by, but when I go there, it makes me sad because I don't have anything cool.
It doesn't
You know?
matter. That's
I'm
the
like,
beauty
this
of it.
is
Yeah, you can
sick,
still
and then I have
enjoy
to go
it.
home to fucking what I got at home.
That doesn't matter. You still
What do you
enjoy
mean? You
it.
got a cool ass car at
It's-
home.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, here's what's weird. This area, you don't see cool shit out and about.
Yeah.
You know, your
Not all-
occasional
no.
Chevy Cruze that's dumped on its face. You know, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Everyone's rolling around with the washer mod on stock wheels,
Yeah.
and then you come to this little place in the middle of a place you would never expect.
Yep.
Little shop of
And it's
heaven.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you come in and there's like 6 of the sickest S2000s
It's-
you've ever seen
Yeah.
in best motoring.
It's like a hub of the world, realistically,
Yeah.
because it's just, oh yeah, hey, you know, all that crazy shit that's, you know, in Japan. Well, some of it's right here,
Right.
And it just happens to be.
And it's
here.
not just Japanese. I mean, we got European stuff.
Yeah.
We have exotics.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll have literally.
Pagani.
We had Mikhail's Subaru,
Yeah,
right? 22L automatic on the lift next to a 600 LT, and we're doing custom suspension parts. You know, it's like I love how goofy that is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Diversifying.
Yeah.
So, I was going to ask. Obviously, there's other stuff going on at the shop. So you have the layer now, which you're doing some storage. But you recently posted another photo with a bunch of racking. Did you? Is
Racketeering?
there another section coming, or can
That
you
is
disclose?
So that's a 30,000 square foot open span room. And I was trolling. I'm not.
Okay, okay.
I was trolling.
They want 22,000. I asked about it.
I inquired.
I inquired because I'm a psychopath.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
let's-
it is. That's the CRZ. That's the fuel cell. Yeah, there we go. Room for activities. That's definitely me
I
trolling.
think that's good.
You know,
I think that's
look
good.
at me with my R34. That's us.
Hey, there we are.
Who's that bird nose? Go back.
Bird
Saw
nose.
that guy? Got a
Yeah, no,
beak.
that's next door to the lair. So right now, I just bought 10 storage lifts.
Yep.
So I bought David Bamforth that owns Garage 42. He
Yep.
had a smaller facility. He just upgraded to a much
like
larger
4-stack, just
forced, yeah,
Taj Mahal of
Just-
storing
yeah.
vehicles.
just G in your pants. It's ridiculous. Full G, just loads of G. And
Get out of
so
my mind.
I mean, he's got like $1 billion budget, so you can do really cool stuff. But his old Garage 42 had some cool storage lifts in them. You know, they're commercial grade, exterior use.
Are they
Storage lifts.
earthquake proof? I heard that's a thing. Yeah,
Of course they are.
yeah.
They're
They
freaking,
put all the bolts in the ground.
Yeah.
They're friggin' Benghazi proof. They're, these things are sick, dude. So
No amount of jet fuel can melt the beams.
but they're outdoor grade, fully galvanized.
Yeah.
Like they're meant to be. You'll see them in New York City. So you ever gone to like a
Right,
commercial
right,
parking
yeah,
area
yeah.
in New York City, and they're all interlocked. They share a center post.
Yep.
It's those. They're made by Park Place or Park Avenue. They're out of New Jersey. They're dope. I mean, these are like really sick lifts, and we got them for. It was pricey, but we got them for a song, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, the retail value on these things was like $120,000 for 10.
Yeah.
We didn't pay anywhere near that, but it was a very good deal, and David wanted somebody that he could just deal with. That wasn't just some friggin' schmo
trying to sell those things.
I saw on Facebook Marketplace you got the, I'm selling my PlayStation on Thursday. If you just hold up, I get paid.
You could just hold it for me till Friday.
I'm gonna swing by Dunkin', grab myself a coffee, then I'll come kick the tires on
You
them.
want anything?
Yeah.
So we made a deal, and last weekend, me and my business partner Mike, in that venture, we went over there with some guys and started tearing them down. That stuff showed up to the shop today. So I moved like 35 cars out of the way.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So my landlord let me just sort of stage
sneak
some
them
stuff
in that
there.
spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Very cool people, and of course I had to flex.
Right. Just show
I don't
them,
know.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Could it be, guys? I don't know.
Am I starting an arena football league?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Well,
just
it's
got
funny.
$100,000 in lifts, guys. I got to move some shit around.
Right? Yeah.
Because you got that photo there
Yeah.
of the GTR in the middle of what was mostly an empty warehouse at that point.
Yeah. Oh, just one,
Yeah.
Just one GTO.
Just one.
not a 34.
Josh has some pretty cool photos of that car in the warehouse when there really wasn't much in there, and it's just like, holy shit! Imagine if this thing was full of cars.
Cool cars in a warehouse where they don't belong.
Yeah.
Is never a bad picture.
No.
It's just like, this is sick.
This
and
is-
I always think about, like, what if some random, industrial guy came through the door and he's like, I'm here to check the fixtures. Whoa. And he's looking at, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Where did I just step into?
Yeah,
Is
what
Johnny
is
Tran
this?
going to shoot me?
I
Like,
was going to
what's-
say,
Johnny
Yeah.
Tran, yeah.
Right.
what part
Got
of the
no
mafia
engines,
did I
Ted.
walk into? Yeah.
Right.
Reminds me of the scene in Tokyo Drift where he's like learning how to drift, and they're like hanging out in that garage, like in the loft area, and there's just they look over and there's just the sickest cars all lined up
Yeah.
everywhere,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Imagine
That's
how the
that.
officer felt when that dude in what was it, Boston? He got caught dealing drugs, and they found like his warehouse of Mark
All the cars.
IVs
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like all that
Yeah.
shit. He just walked in. He's like,
What's that guy's name? Casey?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think he's
he was actually a really nice guy.
I think
he
he's
was.
deceased
I bet he
now,
was.
right?
He was. He
I think he passed away.
He is deceased. Yeah.
I-
The story is that he unalived himself, but I don't think that that's necessarily the case. I don't think that the police were involved, but I think that he unfortunately was probably in business with somebody.
I was going to say
who-
there was something. Yeah.
right. Yeah, somebody higher up in the hierarchy was like, "Hey, this is a weak link in the chain," and
Yeah.
and unfortunately,
Just
met
like
his
they did with
ultimate
Epstein.
demise.
Yeah.
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 Imagine
ultimate-
being the light flicker on her in that warehouse and just being like,
Bro, he had 10 white Mark IV Supras. What
Crazy.
What a psycho. I loved it. I mean, the best kind of psycho. I heard that he was a really nice guy. One of my friends was actually good friends with him
Yeah.
and said he was a really nice guy. He was very quiet, kept to himself, but he absolutely adored Japanese cars and European cars. He had a ton
Yeah,
of,
I was gonna say
of
there was a
paint
bunch
to
of different stuff.
sample M3s and shit with the plastic still on them.
Yeah.
35 GTRs, Evo 8, Evo 9, Supras and Skylines, a couple of 34s. He had an EV1 R34. I can't remember if that car was a GTR or I can't remember the aero kit now. It's the same aero kit that James has on his car.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a midnight purple 25-year, or no, I'm sorry, that was a show and display car. So it was a legitimate show and display car. Apparently all that stuff got put into a trust in his mom's name.
His mom, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
But
heard about
don't
that.
know
I don't know
where-
if it's fully protected.
Yeah.
Altia kit, yes, thanks, Cam. Yeah, the Altia. So it might have been a true EV1 Altia or a GTR EV1 yellow. I think it was an Altia. I think it was probably a GT25T or whatever. But still, EV1 Altia kit, very rare car. That's what freaking old Tomboy just built.
Yeah.
An EV1, whatever. So yeah, a lot of really, really cool stuff. That
Yeah.
guy. But yeah, that's what I want at my house.
yeah,
That's what I want at my house.
Yeah.
I just want my car to run again.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be crazy.
All right. Well, why don't you stop fucking off and get a real motor?
I'm trying.
Something that, like, why'd you pick the one with sand in it?
I don't know, dude.
What's wrong with you?
I should have went down there
What's
myself.
wrong with you?
I was like, "Do you have a muddy
Holyoke.
poop
Yeah,
bug?"
I lived in an old firehouse. Yeah,
That's so cool.
it's
Yeah.
so cool.
It is a when you hear it.
Converted
Judge,
industrial spaces will never not be
this
cool.
if
No. You know why that's cool? Because motherfucker was like, down the pole and said, "Which
Yeah.
car am I driving today?" And then
Yeah.
the music fucking from Fast and Furious, and somebody threw him keys, obviously.
He had it so made he slid up the pole. He was, yeah, he was awesome.
Another thing I wanted to just briefly hit on with you,
Mm.
because you have many things and we could spend hours upon hours. You see the Mecum auction?
With all the JDM whips.
CRX, S2000,
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. What is
Whips.
your...
Tahitian Green Pearl CRX SI with 5,000 miles or something like that, or 20,000 miles.
Yeah.
Went for like, what, $45,000 or something?
70
$4,000,
something,
70,000?
I thought, yeah. I think the lowest out of the bunch was
I
like
stopped
66
bidding
grand.
around 50 grand. So,
Tahitian Green CRX.
Tahitian Green SI. Yeah.
They made that
Mm-hmm.
It was a looker.
rare
It's a
color,
looker.
rare color.
Yeah.
Rare
Then there
color
was-
alert.
Then there was
Nice
the
color.
99
Yeah.
SI and whatever that blue is.
That is Electron Blue Pearl.
Yeah.
Glass
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
326 miles.
Yeah, okay. That makes more sense for 70 grand, yeah.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
a CRX SI just
That's
like that,
tight.
but it was
Yeah.
red
I've
and
had-
it had a molded body kit.
I've had 5 CRXs.
Be jealous.
5.
They're
Actually-
such cool cars.
It was a fun car to drive.
Yeah, no, dude, they were sick.
I had a Wings West body kit.
Sick. So you mean Mugen?
Yeah.
A Fugen?
Yeah, Fugen. It was molded though.
Right? Oh, sweet. So
Can't
that's
take
terrible.
any of the bumpers off
you took the time
Right,
to further ruin it?
I don't
so that's
need-
even worse.
I don't need to service those light bulbs.
ever again.
Right.
That's funny you said that though, because the license plate light was just like poked through the hole.
Yeah.
There was none,
Yeah.
just a bulb.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bunch of them. There was like the MR2. There's
Oh,
an
right,
89
Yeah, the,
MR2.
the white AW11 MR2. Yeah, that
There was a
sick.
red
Yeah.
one.
There's a red one that went
Red
for...
one?
like 71.5.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
That's a terrible car.
Dude, that's the
They're
thing.
very
It's
cool
just
to like look at and other people own and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
You know, 4AG ZE, supercharged 4AG, very cool. But man, what a terrible car.
And
Diablo, Senor Dos.
Corey and I were talking about it. That
People love these things, and I'm like,
that's I've always been impartial to all the...
like the lightness. I have driven one of these supercharged.
Wasn't there a turbo and supercharged version?
Nope.
That looks so
It was
cool,
just
though. I think it's something
supercharged.
different.
It was actually
Look at that
so
shit.
it was a supercharger that could turn off. So it had a electronic clutch pulley.
That
Yeah.
sounds
That's
like
what
a
was
terrible
very.
design.
They worked. They worked
Yeah?
well. Yeah.
Why would it turn off? Cruising? Cruising
Yeah,
USA?
something like that. Yeah, to reduce parasitic drag from the charger. Or
Punch
whatever.
it, locks it right up.
Had to get those miles up from 59 to the gallon to 64. Yeah, interesting car. Pretty small. I don't fit so good. I'm 6'4".
I was gonna say, dude,
Yeah. So if I don't fit, I get mad at it and say that it sucks.
it's
like Miatas.
useless.
Yeah, Miatas suck. I don't
They didn't even try to make this like sleek. They were like, box, fins in it.
We need a hole.
They demanded that the air
Yeah.
go in there.
Blow a hole in the side of it.
Yeah,
Call it a day.
yeah.
The air
It's
goes
nice that they
here.
stole the teardrops from Volkswagen.
Yeah.
No, you mean the 240 SX?
Yeah, that's 240 SX for sure. S13.
They were like, we want
100%,
the S13, but smaller.
Yeah.
And then Toyota was like, okay, fuck
Say
Nissan.
no more. Yeah, AW11 supercharged, SAB20 turbocharged, I believe. That's correct, Matt. You are correct.
Oh, that's why you don't like Miatas.
correct.
You don't fit in it.
Yeah, I don't fit in them.
And that's why
I
you like
mostly
the-
don't like them because Jordan likes them. That's really like them.
Oh, me too. Yeah, actually, that's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Is he
We
still
all
in there?
feel, we all feel similarly.
Yeah.
Might still be in there.
You like the
kidding,
NC?
I fit in the end. So if I was going to build a Miata,
I know what you do.
yeah, if I was going to build a Miata, it would be an NC2 Super Smiley.
Yeah.
Super Smiley face,
With a
2.5.
Ford engine in it. I think you said.
Yeah, yeah.
Focus
Yeah, we
engine.
talked about that.
It's a
Yeah.
FOMOCO, so it's part of the Ford Mazda,
Yeah.
sort of
FOMOCO, the
infrastructure.
best.
But it'd be a 2.5 liter MZR, and 4.7 final drive, stock trans, NC2. That's about it. Yeah, you'll make 195 horsepower and 180 foot-pounds of torque. They're great.
And
They
have
make
a
more
hell of
torque
a-
than the S2000s do by a significant margin, not just because of the displacement, but because they have cam phasing. So it is a cool car. NC2, I actually fit in those good. I think of all of them, it's the best.
I bet you could buy no joke 5 motors for the price of an F20.
They're 500. I bought one with 3,000 miles on it. It was $500.
That's insane. Because the transmission for an S2000 is like
That doesn't
4
even-
billion
Doesn't even equate.
yen.
Yeah, like the MZR.
Yeah.
Yeah. dude, $500. So we actually swapped one. Did I ever tell you this story? We were out in Ohio. We were out at Nelson Ledges. We did one lap. We had just prepped the car. We were going to do a 13-hour race. We stopped at Nelson Ledges on the way to Mid-Ohio to do a test day. The first lap, the car comes around and the oil filter fell off.
Oh my God.
Motor's toast. Locked
Sick.
up. Locked up. We have to be at the 13-hour race the next day.
Yeah.
We had no tools. It's me and David. You remember, David, my son? Not
Yes,
actually my son. He's
I-
only like 5 years younger than me.
Yeah. I vaguely remember.
started
me.
young.
I think I met him.
Yeah, so David, it was me and David, and we had no tools. So we had no spare motor. We had none of that shit. We had no spares. So we're in.
This is why you have such a no spare. Like I can't do it. This is
trauma.
really,
Oh,
it's
dude.
ingrained.
Big
yeah.
trauma.
Yeah.
Big trauma. So, yeah, I don't know if I'd say perfect car.
You work with them quite a bit. You got an intimate relationship with them.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly things that are cool. It's a bajillion times better than a Miata.
Yeah.
The perfect car.
But they do not have torque.
Anyway, you're in
They're
Ohio.
torqueless. So we're in Ohio. Sorry, getting distracted
Everything's
by the
broken.
chat. Right? Everything's broken. So the motor's locked up, seized up.
Yeah.
We have no spares. We have no tools. A very limited toolkit. And we have these really, really rich clients from Seattle. They actually bought the 50 Shades of Grey penthouse apartment from the movie.
A wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a chief financial officer for fucking. I want to say
For
Citadel.
fucking,
I want
if
to
they
say
bought
Citadel. No, for Oracle.
Oh,
Oh.
Jesus, dude.
Right, this guy had money coming out of his fucking ears.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
What did he buy that for?
The apartment
To
or the
renovate
To,
it.
To
to
fuck?
flex.
To renovate it.
car? Yeah.
So he could bring girls back? He's weird, right? He's a weird guy. Yeah, okay. Anyway,
No.
so they're
No,
Totally
Yeah.
on
No,
the
he
other
had,
end.
he had a girlfriend. She
you
was
want
cool.
to come back to my 50 Shades of Grey
Yeah, no,
apartment?
they bought it because they spent extra because it was a 50 Shades of Grey thing, and then they fucking renovated it.
What? Weird.
Ridiculous.
They're like, hey,
well, it's only 25 million,
only.
so I had some left over.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, hey, girls, does this smell like chloroform?
So this guy had dough. He had one of the heavy credit cards. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm like, okay, it's 9 a.m. Our motor is seized. We need to get a motor from somewhere
Anywhere.
and whatever. So I'm like, okay, what's the zip code here?
Which you just Google motors near me.
Car-part.com.
Yeah.
I looked at all the interlinking of all the junkyards. I found the one that was closest. I found a motor for $500 with 3,260 miles on it or something like that. It was like 14 miles away. So I disconnected the truck from the trailer. I had one of the guys that was with me, this guy Ryan Hall, who's an old buddy of mine from Pirelli World Challenge. We were running the team together. He brought the clients in, we brought the car, etc. So I said, go down to this junkyard, pick up this motor. We'll get the old motor out. Get the motor, stop at Advance Auto, get fluids and this and that, rags, whatever the fuck you can find, buckets, pans, yada, yada, and come back. We did have a drain pan, so we drained all the shit. But by the time they got back, the motor was ready to come out. We didn't have a cherry picker. So I asked the guy who owned Nelson Ledges, hey, can I use that backhoe? So we grabbed the motor out of the old car with a backhoe. Meanwhile, it was like the time of year where you're just being attacked by bees.
Cool.
The
Yeah.
worst. I mean,
So
Yeah.
there's like bees flying in our eyes. There was like, you ever been to an ice cream place?
Yes.
And you stand
you're-
around the garbage
You're
can.
the trash can.
Yeah.
Stand
Yeah.
around the garbage and the bees are just flying in your fucking face.
Yeah.
It
You're
was
trying not to
that.
catch 'em
It
in your
was
mouth.
like it was like the place we decided to pull the motor was right next to the melted ice cream trash can.
Right.
It was terrible. So we're getting attacked by bees. We had no tools. Dude, this is legit. So
it's a nightmare.
So Ryan gets back with the motor. We're ready to pull this thing out. He rolls up, and we got the backhoe over this car. We're pulling the motor up and out. We pulled the train. You got to pull the transmission out first. Pull the motor up out of the top. Those cars, the motor is underneath the wiper cowl, so you got to pull the wiper cowl out. The wiper motor's out, right? So it's really stuffed in there because they're effectively the same as an RX-8 in terms of shape, floor shape.
Yeah.
Subframes are the same, whatever. So we get this thing pulled out. Keep in mind, an MZR is a front-wheel drive motor.
Yep.
You have to convert it to rear-wheel drive. So we take the front bucket. So we use the rear hook to pull the motor out of the other one. We take the front bucket and pull the new motor out of the back of the truck.
So just two
I
motors.
I have
fucking-
pictures. I have pictures. I will show you of the backhoe with both motors. And so David gets stripping down the new motor, which you got to take off the balance shaft pump. You got to convert the pan to a rear-wheel drive pan. There's a hole that needs to be plugged. Now, they do sell kits where you can put this oil plug in it, but I'm like, we don't... Amazon, like, we got 5 minutes to figure this out. So I send Ryan up the street to True Value, the helpful place. And I say...
With the friendly faces.
The place, yeah. I'm like, go up to the place. He's like, what is that? I'm like, True Value, the helpful place. So I say, go up, get a 1/8 NPT tap.
Yeah.
Because I know that the hole, it's metric, but it's just the right size. You can send a 1/8 NPT tap in, and then I can put a grub screw in there, or a plug. And luckily, the motor from the car previously did not have the cool kit. I had the plug. So I was able to tap it. So we're like, bro, we're in a field. Being
Getting
attacked by bees with no tools.
And a backhoe.
And we have a motor up above our heads, and we're tapping it vertically and letting the chips fall out so that no chips get in the oiling system. We have no compressed air. We've got a single roll of blue rags and 2 cans of brake clean.
And a dream.
You might as well be Amish at this point.
It was ridiculous. Yeah. We were raising barns by lunchtime.
Me and Jebediah are going to finish this off.
So here's the other thing, too. The rear-wheel drive front pulley is different than the front-wheel drive front pulley. The accessories are all different. Now, the interesting thing about MZRs, there are no Woodruff keys.
Oh, fuck.
There's no keyways. So if you pull those bolts out, there's no way to time the motor unless you have the fixture tools.
Right.
We did not have said fixture tools.
So you got some sticks in the forest.
We timed that motor with lipstick.
There you go.
We did not have a fucking Sharpie to draw a line. So I said, so we get this new motor.
Which one of the guys had lipstick?
So the chick,
The guy who
the
bought
guy's girlfriend,
the 50 Shades.
that was the 50 Shades of the 50 Shades of girlfriend.
Yeah.
Had lipstick. So we didn't have a Sharpie, we didn't have a pen, nothing. So we get this motor from the junkyard. It was from an automatic front wheel drive. So we had the flex plate on there.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, this is a big diameter item. We can roll the thing to TDC. You know, we'll do the socket trick. We'll send an extension down cylinder 1. I'll feel out TDC, and we'll make a mark on the farthest out diameter that we can. That way the resolution's very good, right? So I took lipstick, and I marked the block, and I marked the flex plate. We took the front pulley off. We swapped everything around. Luckily, the MZRs, they have a flat spot in the back of the cams where you can put a piece of 1/4-inch square stock into the back, so I knew the cams were in time. Because the cam gears also spin. Right? There's no fucking keyways in the whole goddamn motor. So we pull the bolt off. We get everything lined up. Luckily, there's a small M6 bolt that holds the pulley to the front timing cover, so I knew the pulley was right relative to the cam's position, so I wouldn't throw a cam phasing, sync code issue. And we made the mark. We got everything back together. Now, once the front of the motor's together, we can pull the flex plate off, swap over the rear-wheel drive flywheel and all this. So we get this thing back together, put it back in the car. We rolled out of there at like 8:30, drove 2 hours to Mid-Ohio from Nelson Ledges, raced the next weekend, raced the whole weekend, and drove the car back in the trailer and went home. Bees.
Did you ever
No
do any
tools.
Goddamn
upgrades
bees.
to your field repairs, or you just kind of let it ride from there?
Yeah, we threw that motor in trash. It was misfiring the whole time.
Yeah.
So it misfired for 14 hours. Literally. So all of the Mazdas in general, they have brittle wiring. So what happens is specifically around the cam sensors and around the coil packs, late on the coil packs on the later cars, but the cam sensors on the early cars and the later cars, from vibration, the wire would break inside of the insulation. So then what you do is, like, when you have a break and it's intermittent, you take that wire and you fold it over on itself and you zip tie it. And then when that starts misfiring, you fold it the other way and you zip tie it. You create tension so that you're always having connectivity.
Yeah.
So we replaced, we got like Beck Arnley coil pack, pigtails and shit, and finally got the thing fixed up because the connectors for the pigtails were misfiring. The cam sensor was throwing codes and this and that. They would go by at Mid Ohio on the front straight, and like we did okay.
It's
We
still going, yeah.
we fucking finished on an unknown junkyard motor that we did with no tools while getting attacked with bees that we timed with lipstick
With a backhoe.
in a field with a backhoe.
Yeah.
So when we got home, we took that motor and we threw it in the fucking trash. We said, "You're a good motor," and then we bought 2 more MZRs, fresh, both less than 1,000 miles, and totally outfitted the entire race effort. So basically, this guy, I can't remember his fucking name. Clay.
50 Shades of Clay.
No, dude, it was Clay. Anyway, nice enough guy. So he's like, I don't ever want to be unprepared again. What's it going to take to have a spares package for this car? And I'm like, one of everything? He's like, yeah. So he spent $35,000 on a spares package to a car that he doesn't own. He said, I just don't ever want to. Like, it's so expensive for him to miss a day of work.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what I don't want to fucking deal with ever again? The beast.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Put him over the top.
Yeah. From Devondale to just.
Don't say anything.
Oh.
Don't say anything.
Don't say anything.
Oh, big shouts. Yeah, big shouts.
We're not going to say anything
Don't
Yeah.
say anything.
about that donation.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so we put a fresh motor in the car with a brand new OEM wire harness. Then we prepped out a complete rear-wheel drive converted MZR 2.5, brand spanking new. Brand new harness, brand new oil pan, brand new everything. That had its own special cart that we built so that it could get into the trailer easy. Spare transmission, spare drive shaft, every single suspension bolt, spare, brand new in the Mazda bags, in duplicate, all organized in bins, every single arm, every single knuckle. And then that car had RX-8 hubs and brakes, spares for absolutely everything. Spare diff with a spare LSD. We set it up with an LSD. Yeah. And then he raced 2 more races, and we never heard from him again. Swear to God.
Yeah, it's like I knew where this story was going before you even. I'm like, this. All right, it just guy's gonna disappear.
I'm like, bro, you own this like spray. He's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't care. It's just sitting in a trailer somewhere in the middle
50
of fucking...
Shades of Grey apartment. I don't give a shit.
And
Yeah.
it's like you forgetting some beers at a buddy's house. You're like,
Right.
just keep.
Yeah,
Don't worry about
whatever.
it.
Dude,
Drink
they
'em,
brought so this is how crazy these people are. They brought like some really nice, like not like an espresso, but like a really nice espresso machine
Yeah.
to the track.
Yeah.
Bought it specifically, had it drop shipped to the track so that they could make one espresso in pit lane, and then they just flew home. They're like, oh yeah, just keep it. It's fine.
No,
It's like a $4,000
just
espresso machine.
My coffee's a little more expensive.
The looks that we
Dude,
got from everybody
Dude, the
in
most
pit
expensive
lane.
coffee ever. Jesus.
Yeah. The looks that, dude, they bought. So we needed to pad up the seat because his girlfriend was like,
She was
5
driving
Oh,
as
she was
well.
Yeah,
driving-
she was driving as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So she was like 5'1".
Yep.
So they're like, I'm like, you need to get some foam. We eventually did a custom seat pour for an insert.
Yeah.
But I'm like, just go and get some foam, whatever you can find. Thick foam, thin foam, we'll make something work. She goes and buys like Lululemon yoga mats for like $500 and is like cutting them up. And like, this is all I can find.
Yeah, oh.
I'm
I
like,
don't think it is.
I'm like, I meant like go. I was like, go and get some close cell foam from fucking Home Depot. You
I
know,
was just gonna say, yeah, insulation, anything.
yeah, it was
Jesus.
very, very, very
Insulation.
interesting.
I don't know, something.
Fiberglass.
Yeah,
Very, very interesting.
dude,
But yeah,
wild.
NC Miata. It's a good car.
Every time you say bees, I think of that one. Fuck, what's the game with the cards? Cards Against Humanity. You know the card just bees with the question mark. Now I'm gonna think of that every time.
Bees.
I just pictured Tommy Boy
Yeah.
when they're just freaking it. It's bees. There's so many.
So
Oh Jesus Christ!
I did that in a video. There was actually bees around me. It was like I was trying to get away from the bees,
Yeah.
but I was like perfect time for a reference. That's actually in one of my videos, the Turbo Miata video.
Okay.
I'm pulling outside to like do a burnout or whatever the fuck it was. And I back up, and of course it's next to the melted ice cream dumpster. And there's fucking bees flying in my mouth and all. And I'm just like, bees, there's bees. You know, hold away. It's good.
Had to make the exit proper. Well, you have a busy 2025.
Yeah.
as well as all the motorsport stuff, the dare I say career building stuff, the family life, and then getting to enjoy some of your time as well.
I also started a YouTube channel.
This is true. Yes, you
Oh,
did.
yeah, I
You
totally forgot
officially
about
made the
that.
commitment. Yeah.
I did, yeah.
How are you? It seems like you're taking a more selective approach of, okay, we're going to package this up and have this instead of like just a daily vlog of just stuff.
Right. I'm not spamming and jamming.
Yep.
No. Just because the primary objective is still,
Can't play anything, but
yeah.
we can shout it out.
The primary objective is it's the customers, right?
Right.
This is not a revenue stream. This cost me a bunch of money, to have
It
I have
truly-
a full-time filmer on staff.
It's a marketing tool.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's to share. I think that we do a lot of really interesting, cool stuff. Hopefully, the viewership can appreciate some of the details. Sometimes I'll get some comments where I'm just like, "What are you dropped on your fucking head as a kid? Like you just what are you not seeing the details? You fucking smooth brain."
Do you read all the comments?
Of course I do. Yeah,
That's
because there's
crazy behavior.
honestly. Well, here's the thing: it's about less than 2%, because I'm so boring to listen to and watch that people click off and they don't, most people don't have time to stick around and say negative stuff. So it's like 2% of people, for me, will say some dumb shit. And I'm just like, this guy's,
Yeah.
just fucking stupid.
And the ones that stick around are genuinely interested in that
Right.
stuff anyway.
And that's why I want to read the comments, because we have, dude, it's like crazy to me. Like these people take the time. I've watched thousands, hundreds of thousands of videos on YouTube, and I've never left a comment.
Right. It's wow. Come to think about that, it's rare that I leave a
so
comment.
These people take the time. Now they might be YouTube people, and they're like, oh, they're on their phone, and it's easy to leave a comment or whatever, right? But they take the time to say something nice about somebody who's perceivedly doing pretty fucking well.
Yeah.
And maybe doesn't need a pat on the back, although I really do, because I'm my own worst critic and I think I'm fucking garbage. But like these people take the time to say nice things about me, about the work we do, about my guys, about the filming, about the editing, so of course I read it for them. And I want to see, and it's awesome. I mean, somebody left a comment. I can't remember exactly verbatim what they said, but it just like made my fucking year. I was like, this is why I do this.
Yeah.
This is why you lose tens of thousands of dollars
In time
for
filming it
nothing.
and paying.
Right.
Yeah.
To look like a chump
Look
with bad clothes, bad hair.
That's the comment I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Just who is this dude? Look at
Right.
his hair.
Bad hair,
Bad
bad
hair.
clothes,
Right.
cool car.
I can
No
smell
bees.
you through the camera. You suck.
Once
You
in a blue
suck.
moon, we'll get like, "Hey, really enjoy the podcast." I'm like, tight,
Yeah, dude.
tight.
Some people say some really nice things.
Supportive.
It's
really,
been
really
39
nice things.
weeks. but,
Yeah,
hey,
Yeah. And who knows what the hell they're going through in their personal life, or
Right,
whatever, but they
right.
take a moment to say like, hey, good job.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that we've received some very heartfelt messages like that, of like, hey, here's what I've been going through. And you read it and you're like, ooh. And they finish it off by like, thank you for just taking me
Existing.
away from this baloney
Yeah.
to talk about
Right. Escape.
whatever we talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, people are awesome for the most
Yeah.
part. And the people who suck, like, pfft,
Fuck
or
'em.
whatever.
That
I
don't
usually delete the bad comments
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't even want your negativity in my space right
Yeah.
now. But if it's really dumb,
You leave it for everyone to
I'll just
look at?
eviscerate them. I'll just
It's like leaving somebody's head on a stake.
Oh, I'll
just
just-
leave it there.
yeah.
Just leave it there.
I'll put it in the top comments.
Just that's what I mean.
Pin
I'll
it.
fucking
Look at how dumb this
eviscerate you.
idiot is.
Right. Yeah.
Pin it.
What's coming up for the channel? What do you have? Stuff in the can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got huge cans.
Big fan.
So the Lotus video just dropped. I don't know. Lotus video's doing pretty good. 6,000 views. Not
Yeah.
bad. 4 days ago.
Turbo K24 swap,
not too
Lotus
bad.
Elise.
Right. So
what
this,
color is that? Beautiful yellow.
that is Lotus yellow. I'm gonna guess. Lello.
Yeah, it's a Lotus.
Yeah, I
Yellow.
don't know. It's a Lotus yellow. The
Not to be confused with Lotus Black.
right. This is.
Wiz
I would say
Khalifa.
this is like the first like video series, right? Where we've actually had like maybe 3 or 4 videos about a car. This is the first wrap up. It's doing pretty good. Me going to Ireland, nobody really gives a shit. I mean, 2.5 2,500s. Me kissing my motor. Actually, I think my forehead's on the motor because I'm having a hard day. So Sean, my filmer, he's fantastic. Sean Briggs, AWOL Media. He's awesome. He works for me full time. He runs front of house stuff, billing, that sort of thing. Just generally a fucking one of the lads. You know?
Yeah.
And he has this knack for finding me at the worst possible moment to take a picture
It's probably
for the thumbnail.
become predictable.
Yeah, I mean,
He can,
I'm just
probably
always
just sense
spiraling.
what, like, you know.
Yeah.
He knows your melted garbage
it's
ice
just-
cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
it's
oh,
come on.
Seamus is
Autism
spiraling.
flavor.
Let me grab the DSLR.
That's
and go over.
exactly.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
just
here
like,
it comes.
Fuck! And then you hear,
Yeah.
"Ching."
Yeah.
Damn it!
Right.
You just see the red light. That's it.
Yeah, he's really good at finding those times. But yeah, so he does good job. We're
Love
doing
that.
good.
What's been
Doing
your
good.
favorite thing to film so far?
Man, I really like talking about shop updates.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if that stuff's boring to people, but I just love jumping around and just trying to convey how crazy it is at the shop all the time.
Yeah.
Because the variety, you know, we have 40 active projects in the shop,
Which is
40.
wild.
40.
40. And they're all active work. So
That's a 40-hour work week just trying to bill and keep track and just
Yeah.
that alone.
yeah, Sean and I both take care of the billing, and it still is like we can't keep up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's when you're playing the game of everything comes from Japan, you know, it's like you buy 3 parts to get to the next step, to realize that you need XYZ, to wait, to convert the money, to this, to that, to drop ship. Thank goodness for DHL. I mean, we can get stuff from Japan for like 3 to 5 days. But you're always in this rotation. So not only can you just don't have the opportunity to become niche because it's not like I've got 40 GTRs there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or 40 Evos or, you know, I've got everything from a 575 Maranello E-Gear car to a 99 FD to a Audi RS4 Avant to whatever. So we have to speak all the languages. We have to know all the things about all the cars and all the brands, and like each person has to jump around. Nobody has the opportunity really except for Evan, who Evan's a complete, he's a classically trained motorsport complete build guy. He can go start to finish and the car is ready for me to jump in and start calibrating with the, you know, setting up the ECU and getting it into the tuning phase, sort of the end delivery phase. Versus, you know, the other guys have their specialties or whatever. So we're jumping around all the time. It is crazy. And I probably don't do a good job of delivering that just because I'm like this robot voiced monotone weirdo. But it's nuts at the shop all the time, and how many things going on and how many things that we have to do. And I hope that I'm conveying that. But I really like doing that and sharing that stuff. And it can be haphazard. I think people who aren't in the mindset of like, we're jaded to it, I guess, like, let's put it that way. So, you know, this is our everyday. We're used to it. So maybe that might be hard to follow for certain people. They like consistent thing, like Jimmy's videos.
Yeah.
Consistent. We do the build. Now we're doing this build now. You know, he'll get into a few cars and people start to complain.
Yep.
You know, my brain hurts. I can't understand what you're doing. You know, so like it's hard for them to follow.
Right. To convey. Yeah.
But that's the audience that he's built. And
Yeah.
you know, a lot of those 25,000 subscribers there, a lot of them came from Jimmy's
Yep.
channel. So, you know, my subs rate to views rate doesn't really necessarily correlate because these people they want to see Jimmy style content.
that day. Yeah.
that's not
And
me.
and hell, the way YouTube works, if you're not pumping out every other day at the very least, getting it in front of those people anyway, unless they're actively searching for it, it's just not going to be served to them, you know, as frequently as other stuff. So
I starve the algorithm,
yeah.
you know, so which is a tactic.
Yeah.
Right? Like a lot of people post on the Instagram story every day.
Yeah.
Right. And what happens is it becomes diluted. Right. So then what you do is you pull back. You just literally starve the algorithm for 4 or 5 days. And the next time you post, it'll boost it because the algorithm is designed to try to trick you into posting more So basically what they do is they dangle this fruit over you that says like, oh, wow, your story is doing so good. Look how good you're doing. You should post more, right? And they try to get you in on this like juicy bite, like, oh man, maybe all my stories will get 1,000 or 2,000 views or whatever. And that's just like not the case. So I found that by starving or what would be a better way to do it?
Limiting.
To say it?
Fasting.
Fasting, exactly.
There we go.
I was
Now we're
thinking-
talking.
I was thinking, like, what happens when you don't eat for 18 hours in a row? But, like, intermittent fasting,
Yeah.
when it comes to posting on social media, seems to do very, very well. And then what you do is you target, or what I've found is you target very high-end stuff or specific stuff that you want to use. Like, I posted the CRZ, a few little snippets of the CRZ, because I'm trying to generate buzz about that for when the video drops. So there is a calculated approach to how we're doing it, and I usually tend to do less to get more than more to get less.
Yeah.
And it also makes it a lot easier because I'm freaking working
You're not
on cars.
I was
man.
gonna say you're not worried about I gotta pump this out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now we're working on. We've got the CRZ wrap up video. That's like a 4-part series that's wrapping up. That car is started. It's running. It's very complex, and it's like deceivingly complex. I think like if you don't have an attention to detail, you're not really going to understand how much has changed and to what level. But the level of quality is out of control. So stoked on that.
What we talked, you said the Fit is kaput at the moment. What's the plan for that?
New motor. It's had a new motor. We supercharged it.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
So, yeah, lots happened with that car.
Yeah.
So the original motor blew up really quick. The cylinder head munched itself, which in turn took out the entire bottom end. It was a built bottom end as well. $16,000 motor turned to rubble. Thanks, 4-piston. So then I put together a motor, just a quickie, because the intention was, okay, how do we get the same or more horsepower with a more reasonable replacement cost?
Yep.
So I said, I don't want to do any built motors. Now, unfortunately, the format that you have to do that motor in, it's a R40 bottom, a very special bottom, which is 9th gen and 2nd gen TSX with a 4-port head, because we built the provisions for the 4-port head from the high compression NA motor. So I had to put together another basically stock component 4-port head R40 hybrid motor. We did 10.5 to 1 compression, lower compression CRV bottom end from Japan, and then we put a Rotrex supercharger on top of that. The lowest power I could make was 355 wheel. And like 270 foot-pounds of torque.
Is that just still on pump?
That is on pump gas.
Yeah,
pump gas. So that was awesome, and
that's wild.
I mean, it fucking ripped.
Yeah.
It was another 50. It was another 50 horsepower and another 80 foot-pounds of torque. I mean, this thing motored, and we switched it out from a 508 final drive to a 4.3. So it was like long gears, kicking ass. To the point where it was like boiling the tires off, and getting a little bit hot on track, because now we had an intercooler in the way and this and that. So then more recently we've pulled the supercharger off, and he's just going to sort of use that for a couple of years and then pass the reins to me. Yeah. So basically at this point that car is slated to be in my lifetime collection.
Yeah. That's cool. You
Yeah.
put a lot of thought and work and everything else into
Yeah,
that.
as
So
it should be.
Yeah. He's a really, really nice man.
Yeah.
And I call him my car dad.
Yeah.
You know, because my dad was never into cars, and Ron and I he's been with me almost since the beginning of the business, and you know, we have a deep connection. We talk about everything. He's got, you know, at 75 years old, he's got stresses in his life and is looking for insight from an outside perspective. And you know, he's helped me grow. He's taught me a lot about business, and we built a fantastic relationship. And he's like, you know, when I get old, he's 75, so like you're there around. But he's like, when I get old, you know, what's going to happen? Like, I don't think I can sell this car, is basically what he was thinking. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. And he's like, I don't want to entertain the low ball shit. You know, I'll be frank, there's $125,000 in that car with all of its revisions. That's a really expensive fit. And even at $50,000, that's an expensive fit.
Yeah.
And the offers aren't going to be anywhere near that. So he's like, I just don't even want to entertain the goofballs. You know, I'd rather see this car bring value to your family. You know, maybe your kids will drive it, or be something that you guys build together or continue on, you know, for the rest of time or whatever, long after I'm gone, which is morbid, but, you know, we talk, you know, seems like everybody talks to me about death, you know. I don't know
Yeah, what's up with
I don't know
that?
how to do it.
Well, yeah, he probably brought up an
You got a
airplane
5-year-old
around
and a
you.
75-year-old.
I don't know. I don't know, dude. This guy, he's whatever. He makes me cry sometimes, but yeah. So that car will be part of the lifetime collection.
That's
cool.
awesome. Yeah, that's great.
So he's going to use it for another 3-4 years, and I said, use up every last drop, man. I don't care. Don't save it for me.
Yeah, yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Yeah, you can revive it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Does that mean the Rotrex is for sale? I'm asking for a friend.
Well, that kit is very custom because it's all been reworked to fit in a fit. But
No pun
basically,
intended.
when the car comes back to me, I'm going to put the Rotrex back on because I'm not going to track it.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I'm
You're
not
just
gonna
gonna,
try- I'm
yeah,
going to drive it as a street car, AC.
burnouts.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn up the boost.
yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Boy, oh boy, you bet. I'm going to turn up that boost, baby. I'm going to make
Full
like
power.
450 wheel horsepower with that thing.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, street car, AC, 450 wheel, I think.
Like that.
That'd be
That's
chicken.
dare I
That'd be
say it'll be a hoot.
It'll be quite a hoot.
Hoot and holler.
What's your next thing? What do you get? What's first on the docket? You know, when you leave here, obviously next couple days work. What's the first thing coming up?
So I got to get the lifts reinstalled the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's a goal. The 10 lifts for the lair. I'm currently working on the FRS, my drift car.
Yep.
That car's getting turboed. And then of course Jimmy decided to go and help Austin build the exact same car, the exact same car,
And the same color too, right?
Same color,
Oh,
same.
boy.
Yeah, it's kind of a silly joke between us, but
Yeah. Well, you're both tall.
Team Orange, you know, we're gonna, but like same orange, same 5-axis, like launch
he should
edition
just-
kit, same.
I want the same
Same.
stickers on the car. I
Right.
want everything. Same wheels, scuffs.
Poor
I know,
Spoon,
yeah.
dude. He built his car. Now he's got to make parts for Austin's car,
Yeah,
and he just slaved over it.
it's all right. You know, he's fine. He loves.
Jimmy
that
was
shit.
like, "Now you have one."
he loves that. Shit. He
Spoon was
loves
like,
it.
"Oh,
I mean, they fast tracked it. You know, it helps. with
fast track, brother. It was overnight."
Well, he had the whole drivetrain.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and then he called me. Hey, Seamus, give me the kit. And basically, you know, and whatever. We worked it all out. I'm so happy for Austin. I think it's fucking sick.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah. But I am gonna, you know what
No,
I'm
I
gonna
like
do?
that. That's
I
cool.
gotta
That's
take,
cool.
I gotta take that left front fender from him because him and I made some contact
Yeah,
last year, JZX90 and my car, and you know,
Those JZX90s made of paper mache, apparently.
dude, oh my god, the quarter panel is like the size of fucking box truck. I mean,
you-
like you hit it at all, and it just caves in.
You fucking stuffed that thing like
Dude,
Matembe Combo.
I know.
Dikembe Mutombo.
His stoke was so low, I felt bad because it's like a cool guy car, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I don't give a shit about FRSs. I'm just like, this is a weapon,
Right.
you know. So we get
Fucking
back,
piss missile.
right?
Grip
we-
Scandley.
We get back into the paddock, and I'm yanking the fender out. I'm like, let's go, baby, let's go back out.
Round two.
He's like, bro, my car. I'm like, oh my gosh. Shit, man. Sorry about that. So, like, we going back out or what? He's
just
like,
hit it?
no, man, I'm done for the day.
Hit him with the Rubbins Racing.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
fucking. As long as my fender's not in my tire, I don't care. Let's go back out there. Let's
Yeah.
go. But yeah, so doing that, and then I really got to get going on the sport cross.
Yep.
You know, car's back from paint. Bay is painted. Millennium yellow.
Okay. Yeah.
Got the motor.
Are
You
you
know.
driving this year?
Yep.
I feel like you drove some of last year.
Yeah, I mean, it was hit or miss. I mean, you know, either events where I was away because of Formula D, or, you know, maybe the timeline didn't work out. I do have family and that sort of thing, you know. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying
And the
that
car
you don't.
wasn't right. I mean, they love going to the track, so I'm going to
Yeah.
definitely bring them to the track and stuff. My goal is to hit as much Lock City as I can this year. That's why I'm trying to do the FRS over the winter, get that all ready to go, shake down. I'm also building Brittany's car from scratch,
Yep.
Yeah.
you know, so that's both draining in terms of time and finances.
Yep.
But I want her to be ready because the Z3 just wasn't right for her. It's the car is
snappy.
it's fantastic to drive.
Really?
She just can't figure that out. I let her do a women's day, a ladies' day in my car. She fucking shredded. She loves it. Immediately figured the car out. You know, loved it. She just wants more power. The Z3 was underpowered, you know, and she just couldn't figure it out. Like, I got that car down first day. Took me 3 events to get my car down. She figured out my car in one day. But I had also change some things to make it more manageable or whatever. But the IS300 for her, I think, will be a great platform. It's large enough to fit good seats in it. It's large enough, it's a very common chassis. You can buy stuff for it. It's 2J platform. I bought another Sport Cross that I want to make into like a mommy daddy drift sort of thing. So she's got her IS300, sedan, and then I'll have my IS300 drift wagon thing. That's a long-term, medium-term goal. I also bought a Stagia, RS4S, and I've got some bits for that. So I got a, stock placement 30R. I'm going to make like 400 wheel. I don't know. Got a lot of stuff.
It sounds like you got nothing going on. So you got,
really
plenty
not
of,
much.
plenty of time to chill.
And then I'm going to convert my rear-wheel drive, convert my WRX because I want to have a backup drift car. So I've got all that. So I put that. So Jimmy, that son of a bitch, he got me.
This guy, Big Jim. I don't know,
Big
man.
Jim, he freaking crept in. I put the WRX on a link.
Oh,
I never thought I'd say that.
Oh my!
But I put it on a link. Well, here's the
thing. You're
thing.
not paid to say that. What's happening here?
Right.
What's going?
This section of the video is brought to you by Link ECU. If you like a screaming face guy on the side of your ECU, you need to buy Link ECU. Back to you. No,
they can sponsor my car one.
Honestly, the deal was better. So my deal through Jim, my special deal, was actually cheaper by like a couple $100 than my pricing. I'm a freaking platinum level master dealer for fucking Haltech for over 10 years. And my Black Friday pricing, which is like 40% off on Black Friday only, is like one day. I couldn't, it was still $200 cheaper to go with Jim. So I'm like, fucking God damn it.
Yeah.
Anything's better than an OEM ECU.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me get a link. So I put a link in the car, fired it up last weekend.
There you go. Did it feel like dirty?
Do you like
I've
it?
tuned like, I don't know.
When it started, we were like, oh!
I can't do this. He turned it right off.
I pulled it out. I threw it in the fucking woods.
Turn it right off.
No, you know what it is? I like to be able to make a change, hit enter, and then it happens. I don't have to like plug in the thing, do the flash, takes 5 minutes, clear the codes, confirm that, that wasn't right, do it again, 5 minutes.
You have to do a Haltech?
No, I'm saying like OEM ECU.
Oh.
So it's just so time consuming.
Right, just having the ability to access that
like,
stuff.
I want this now. How about this? How about that?
Right.
And the car's up on its own 2 feet in like 5 minutes.
So
Yes.
Vegas where it is, it just shuts off for a second when you're driving.
Right.
You're like, Jesus.
Yeah. I don't know. But
Jimmy was editing my shit. He's like, punch it. And he's like, oh, I just hit enter. And the car literally was like, off, on.
yeah, that's the save. Yeah. They fixed that a little. It's been improved.
He was like, oh, my bad. I hit save.
I have my quams about Link.
Yeah.
I've probably tuned 15 or 20 Link cars at this point. And it's all the same shit. It's like
right, 'cause
it's writing an email with Google or Outlook.
I was
you're
gonna say,
still writing an email.
The theory is still there. You're manipulating.
It's the interface.
it just works different.
It's all UI.
Yeah.
It's all user interface. I mean, I can make any ECU do the same thing. It's just like, where's that fucking button again? God damn.
Oh, and people, right. I mean, just with everything. I like Lightroom. I like whatever.
Exactly.
We'll do this in Photoshop.
Photoshop or GIMP.
GIMP. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
So,
GIMP.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, I need to force myself to use this all the time so I know where all the stupid ass buttons are.
It's a business expense for learning purposes.
Right. Well, I haven't even paid him for it yet. I don't know.
I wonder what happens if you just don't.
We have our morning calls, and I keep telling him, like, I got to pay for that thing. He's like, yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm just like, I hate that because I'm like, what are you going to ask me to do?
Right. That's
$2,000,
it's the favor. You got to owe me a favor.
Right. Yeah. Well, you saw a guy, we're going to go down to the docks on some business.
I need you to pick something up for me.
Shit.
It's in the trunk.
You sure you just don't want cash?
Let's do this the old
I'd much rather give you the cash.
Yeah.
Be done.
Yeah, favors, no favors.
Especially if it involves New Jersey.
Oh, God.
It smells like shit over there.
Yeah. Best thing, Jersey.
The only thing that's good in
E-Town.
Jersey is, well, I guess aside from, E-Town is the James Gandolfini rest stop, but it's been closed
It's
for
back
years.
open. I got sent a thing.
There's two good things in New Jersey.
The list keeps getting bigger. What about JDM Engine Depot, dude?
Was
They're going to get a very snooty email
Is Bon
tomorrow.
Jovi from New Jersey?
Yeah.
Three good things from New Jersey.
He was at least halfway there.
Somebody needs to
That's
open
true.
up a pizza spot in New Jersey, and you can order bonchovies for your
that's
pizza.
good.
Just saying, trademark.
Make it just all
You just said
music
it, it's
themed.
recorded, public information. So it's all yours now.
There is going to be no news tonight. There's going to be no callbacks
Fuck
tonight.
the news.
Sorry, guys.
fuck
It's just all
callback.
Seamus because it's good because it's been I don't even know.
It's been a year.
Has it been a
almost
year?
It's
Holy
been almost
shit!
A year, yeah.
Wow, I was going to say 6 months.
You guys been icing me for a year.
It was-
I've called every week, and these guys have said no. Get a more interesting life.
Some people have called.
Listen,
but
dude, we just didn't want to glaze you too hard.
Right. Yeah, well, a lot of G's. A lot of G's.
a lot of G's in the pants.
yeah,
So
March 9th, 2023.
Jeez Louise.
wow,
Crazy you
okay.
found that so fast.
Almost a
Jesus.
year.
No, I just typed Seamus into revival and came right away.
There we
I have
go.
it saved as a tab.
He just
Whoa,
reminds himself.
thank you. Thank
Third
you.
appearance,
Appreciate it. Third?
Third.
This is third. Wow.
November 3rd, 2022, March 9th, 2023.
Still waiting on that gift.
Yeah. First one's TCS Seamus.
Right.
Second one's TCS Seamus returns.
And then
This
this, one
one's
is
good.
Make America
The
Great Again.
return.
What is it called? The Great Turning,
Golden era,
Golden
yeah,
Era
whatever the hell we
of
called it.
America.
Yeah,
What?
this is going to be Seamus deep dive.
You're probably tied for second most appearances.
Yeah? I mean,
No, it's
Scott,
you guys
for
appear
sure.
a lot on the show.
Yeah.
it's true.
Yes,
Right?
It's-
Shook's been on the show tons of
quite a
times.
few times. Yeah, I'm just a
Yeah.
guest at this point.
Brett and Scott are up there. Scott might be the most.
Scott's definitely the most.
Yeah.
Scott might as well be a member.
Yeah,
Scott might have made it more times this year than me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I got good news about that. I'll tell you later.
Well, it's
Okay.
only January 20th. So 20
Yeah,
something.
you still
It's
could
true.
have me beat.
yeah. There's plenty. He's got a lot of time. That's going to be it for us this
Yeah.
week. We don't want to wait a year to talk to
No.
Seamus again. Maybe we'll hit him like mid season,
Yeah,
something
let's
like
do it.
that when we can.
do
Let's see where it makes sense, certainly with his schedule.
I'll be coming back talking all kinds of shit.
Oh, I'm sure.
We're excited.
we
Come
bring
on
the
here, talk
drama.
that shit.
We need to bring the drama.
I've been bottling it all up for so long. I have so many things, so many
I mean, you live it every
people
day.
that I run into in this industry that are just stealing people's money and they're talentless frauds, and I'm just so sick of like just
Letting it.
participation trophy level shit.
Let 'em know.
Step up, do better, clean your fucking engine bays. I don't know. That's how I'm feeling. That's how I'm feeling. Just so much garbage out there. Just do better, guys.
Last quick question: has Chuck discussed a new coil cover for his?
Instead of the Last Supper.
Yeah. Is that like on the table? Is that are we gonna revive that? Is it?
So
I can't believe the Last Supper lasted that long.
it's beautiful. It was printed on an amazing
It's just
material
unbelievable.
I
by
did
an
it.
amazing printer. Whoever did it,
Yeah.
it's a very handsome guy.
Yeah.
The
He's talking about me. He's talking about me.
I think it's really funny. I love the gold. I love the
Yeah.
gold.
Yes, yes.
So like I don't really want to change the color too much, but now there's going to be some other pieces that are going to get coated as well, and I don't want them not to match.
Yeah. Right.
So I think that we might need a Last Supper Part 2.
Yeah,
you know,
something.
sort of a situation.
It's an easy make.
She put grilled cheeses. So every time he pops out, we go back, got that cheese, Daddy.
Got that cheat. No, it just says he's making them at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, Last Supper. I don't. We'll figure something.
I mean,
I originally tried doing the creation of man, but the problem is that the plaque is only so
It's-
wide.
You're talking about where the
two fingers.
the fingers.
the finger touch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
and-
monkey and a man, right? Touching, or it's a
Uh,
baby and a man, or something.
Yeah, it's like,
touching tips.
but it's only like the plaque's only like this wide. So if you were to take that image, like you can't.
Right. It would just be two fingers.
it was like
Whose fingers are
what
those?
is it?
The Last Supper is a nice.
Right.
It's
yeah,
great.
good.
Yeah, because it's
a
that
good spread.
that anamorphic.
It's either that or you make it like a real long dick.
right. Yeah.
You know? That would
Right.
fit. That'll
Oh, you
fit
got
between
that
the brackets.
cheese, Daddy?
Got that cheese,
Just,
Daddy?
the grilled cheese is better.
Yeah, we'll make a new one.
Yeah.
Make a new one for sure.
Thanks everybody in the chat for the donations, all that good stuff. Thank you very much for listening. Go to our website, revivalmartyr.com, where you can sign up for the B for B or snag some merch up
Pause.
there. Yep.
25 seconds. 25 cents. not
25
seconds.
cents was the B for B number, as we always do. If you don't know what we're talking about, just listen to the other episodes. You'll get it. Seamus, thank you very much for making the time to come
Thank you.
hang out. It's
A man of many
truly,
hats.
truly a pleasure.
Thanks for having me. Guys,
We could talk
as
all
always.
night.
Yeah.
But he will be back sooner than later. And we look forward to seeing you and everything that happens this year.
Well, thanks.
I'm looking
Thanks
for another
having me.
podium
Yeah.
photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's gonna be plenty of those. And also, sorry if I didn't respond to anybody in the chat. I'm near farsighted, so I
You're fart-sighted?
near far.
How long you
farsighted,
bandwidth?
Yeah. I just yeah.
Recently we've
I
had,
always like to check the chat, but I just we get rolling.
We're trying to have more of a focus on the conversation at the table.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
It's
good.
it's
For the
very
listeners.
easy to get
Right.
all over the place.
I'm usually
so.
the guy.
I do-
distracted,
truly
you
you
know?
are,
Yeah,
yeah,
we don't
yeah.
have any traction control here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Do you have a good closing quote, like a one-liner?
Buy guns.
You heard the man. Rise up.
Play us out, Maestro.
Stock up.
Fight the power.
Powers and the people. See you later.
See you, folks.
See you later.